Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to a scary Sunday here at C Plus Content. We are doing a little bit more Call of Cthulhu in the loosely connected series of stories that we call the Cavendish Collection. This one is known as the Eldritch for no particular reason. Let's see, before we dig into like what's going on in the world and stuff like that, we should probably figure out who our players are and the characters they are playing. Hey, let's start with Misha.
All right, I am Misha _ lesson 3. I'm playing Eloise Page. She is a nurse. And she is super nosy and wants to know what's what here on campus. And also will let you know what's what here on campus. Go ahead, Shanks.
Hey, hello. My name is the Shanks Master General. You can find me at Twitch TV/Shanks Master General. But I am playing Maurice Church. He is a taxi driver and a mechanic. He is God-fearing, so I decided to go with the Quaker tradition of Christianity because they tend to be more aligned with my views. And I'm not too sure how I'm going to play it, but we'll just see how it goes. I'm sending off to Twi'lek over there.
Hey, I'm Twi'lek, and I am playing Sir Reggie Keaton. Sir Reggie is charming, good with guns, and quite wealthy. This is a role-playing game, so I can just make up what I want to be. Megan.
I am Megan Amell. You can find me at twitch.tv/Megan Amell or meganamell.tv. And I only stream on Saturdays, Catterdays, so come by. And I am going to be playing Madge. And Madge I really have to dig deep for this character because she's a mathematician, and I'm not really sure how to be that. No, I'm just kidding. I only play myself, and Madge is like me. She's a mathematician, but she's kind of in on all the math stuff that happens, and she's a very popular mathematician. A lot of the campus and the students and everybody like her. So, and she's very intelligent and educated, and hopefully that will help her not go insane. But I find that sanity and intelligence sometimes, So
in this particular system, there's an inverse correlation.
Yeah, I know.
So that's fine. We'll see. So we are back in the picturesque little hamlet of Arkham, Massachusetts, somewhere in Essex County. We are also somewhere in the 1920s, obviously between the beginning of Prohibition and the collapse of the stock market, probably in the earlier part of that decade. So there's cars and there's electricity and there's speakeasies and there's, crime and cults attempting to summon eldritch beings from beyond and zombies and, you name it going on. For whatever reason, Arkham tends to attract more than its fair share of eldritch shenanigans. But for at least a few of you, your experience of Arkham is very much tied to your affiliation to Miskatonic University, which is notable for its programs in history, archaeology, journalism, specifically investigative journalism, and things that in another institution might be considered pseudoscientific, both in terms of the formal curriculum and some of the student and faculty organizations. There's a little bit of a touch of occultism that happens on campus, but it's all in good fun. It's all just about, creating rounded students who will be the next generations of leaders of the world and industry and politics. So just like any other normal campus. So what has been happening recently? Well, all the characters have had a chance to peruse over the past couple of days, just going about their day-to-day activities, all have at least had a chance to skim through the recent cover of the Miskatonic Mirror, which is the student newspaper, illustrated weekly newspaper here. Several of you probably were on campus when the events with the clock tower happened. It began chiming a strange, ethereal tune, and some students and faculty reported that their timepieces, their watches or pocket watches, stopped at the same time. But that was repaired. Clearly, it was just the fact that it hasn't been maintained well enough. And the rumors have gotten out that a visiting scholar, one Professor Karaji, who was actually ostensibly here to study some artifacts that were recovered from the Canary Islands. He is a linguist, historian, and archaeologist by trade. Has, however, through his study of those artifacts, apparently discovered or rediscovered some branch of mathematics that was very, very exciting. This clearly would have hit Madge's radar, but as an associate professor and one of the few female professors at Miskatonic University, any interest you would have shown in the subject would have been directed away, because Professor Joseph Carruthers, who is the dean of mathematics here, would have taken it upon himself, somewhat gruffly, to really debunk this outsider who's now claiming to be a mathematical prodigy. What I think Madge would have known is that after meeting with Mr. Karaji a few times, Carruthers seemed a bit strange, preoccupied, pale. In the just a few days since these events, maybe he's lost weight. You don't see him as much around campus, and when you do, he is much more furtive. He's known for being very officious, particularly when it comes to his own department, and he has been hiding away in his offices more than usual, which is probably a boon to all the other professors and students. He's not well liked. But that's kind of what you know. What do we think Eloise would have known about all this?
I might have heard that he is not feeling well.
Yes.
Because, it's my business to pay attention to these things. And the second one student says something, I'll be like, oh, well, you should come down to the nurse's office. I can see what's wrong, do a checkup.
So I think perhaps Virgil Quincy, who is a graduate student and a teaching assistant to Professor Carruthers, he's a bit of a hypochondriac. So he's one of these people that you see quite frequently with, vague complaints about this, that, or the other. But in one of those visits, he revealed that he's greatly worried about Professor Carruthers, because part of what Virgil does is, brings him food when he's locked away in his office. And as far as Virgil knows, he hasn't eaten in days. And that when he listened at the door, he heard strange mutterings that didn't appear to be in English or Latin or any of the languages that Professor Carruthers would speak. So who knows? But there's a reason to be concerned.
Tongues. Oh, yes, of course.
Yes. So Reggie probably doesn't notice much of anything, because the good news is, being a dashing explorer, your dance card is quite full in terms of being invited to speak at student activities and cultural groups and clubs throughout town. And clearly, I believe that you actually ran into Madge at when you were asked to speak to a local kind of historical society, although much of the conversation there turned to mathematics for some reason. So, and of course, Morris knows just about everything as one of the only sort of taxi drivers here in this relatively small town. You likely have met everyone, and certainly have met Sir Reggie as a visiting quote unquote scholar or dignitary who doesn't have a car. So you certainly would, and your charming nature certainly would have enabled you to befriend people. So for whatever reason, perhaps Maurice has been called to campus to repair a piece of laboratory equipment, given your skills in mechanical repair. So we will say that you are all on campus at the moment.
Okay.
I'd like to turn the action over to Eloise. You have just received concerning news about the dean of the mathematics department. Young Mr. Quincy has expressed that he's done everything he can. So what do we think Eloise does? As someone who's, extremely well known for leaving all of her patients alone, not violating confidences, not crossing lines, what do we think Eloise does?
Well, first, we'll just take a look at his recent records. When was he last in here? We'll just, open the old file cabinet, take a look. I'm sure there's some, it's probably not too interesting, I'm guessing. Normal stuff.
The only record that you actually have on him is a muscular strain from a bout of tennis 2 years ago.
Okay. Something new. Well, luckily, I have a good friend in the math department. I know my good friend Madge. She'll know what's going on for sure.
All right.
And someone I can approach in confidence, of course, about his health. I just heard from somebody, so I'm gonna, make a little trip over to the math department.
Yeah, the timing is just right. Madge, one of your lectures has just let out. A few of the more fashionable students tend to linger because, again, you're very popular. But it is fortuitously timed, Eloise, that as you arrive, the last of those students file out, and as Madge is erasing the chalkboard. What happens?
Madge, how are you?
Eloise, I'm okay. How are you? It's lovely to see you. I love your
doing-
hat.
Oh, thank you. It mustn't look improper,
Oh, obviously.
Listen, I have gotten some word from another concerned individual in the department that the department head isn't feeling too well. Do you know what's going on with him?
I do. I do not. All I know is that he's just been wasting away, and he's, looks like he's a bit under the weather,
Oh, under the weather. What a shame.
He was supposed to actually come observe me in my lecture about set theory, and he did not show up, but I thought he would
didn't come
try to
for your-
reschedule, and he did not. So
Shocking. Really improper behavior for a department head.
yeah,
He's
very
not feeling
strange,
well.
but maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's time for a new department head.
Could be. It does seem like that. It's irresponsible if his health is so poor, Madge.
Yes.
It'd be
Well, he
real-
really does need to focus on taking care of himself.
Maybe we should go pay him a visit, see what's up. I mean, obviously, I have my bag here in case he needs some assistance.
Oh, that's perfect. I needed to drop off some of these term papers anyway.
Perfect. We head over to his department
Yes, you do.
office.
So you arrive outside the lovely burnished oak door with the well-polished plaque on the outside. Madge knocks. No answer.
Well, I guess he's not here. I mean, we could try to fiddle with this lock and get in anyway, but
Oh,
I don't know
mean,
how to do
maybe
that.
Maybe it's unlocked. Try the door.
It appears to be locked.
Well, I rattle it excessively loudly in case he'll hear.
No. I mean, no one opens the door. Now, you could try to listen. You did hear from young Virgil that he very faintly heard something.
Let's try to just give it a listen. Maybe he's fallen unconscious or
We both get like
Something
really close to the door.
yes.
One of us is like up here, one of us is down here.
Yes, you may both roll a listen. You don't both have to, but you can.
right, I
I rolled a 19.
Oh,
Is that
Which is
what is that
a
over
middle
or
one.
under?
It's under the middle one.
So
It's over the last one by 4.
Got it. Got it. So, what is your total in listen?
My total,
Yeah.
75.
So you rolled the number under 75, which is a hard success. So that's a hard success in listen. So I believe you do hear mumbling, very faint. And because it's a hard success, there's something about it that disturbs you. It doesn't sound like someone talking to themselves. The words are unintelligible, but there's a hint of distress or disorganization. It sounds wrong to you somehow. Eloise, did you hear anything?
I got a 13 under 38.
So that's a hard success for you as well. Yes. Eloise, you hear gibbering. You have been to the sanatorium a few times. You probably have had to recommend a number of members of the student body and faculty to a lovely long stay at the sanatorium, in fact. And you know what gibbering sounds like. And this is the impression you get. This is some sort of disordered gibbering that you are hearing from beyond the door.
Oh my gosh, I think he's gone mad.
I think we need to get in there.
Yes, here, I'll go see if I can fetch some help if you would like to just listen to see if he doesn't keep dying or pick the lock. I don't know.
Sir Reggie, as you're walking down the hallways, you see two young members of faculty who appear to be looking for a gentleman who can come and rescue them.
Yes, please.
Who doesn't have any of the requisite skills to do so, but who might know where a person who has great mechanical skills is located right now.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah, Sir Reggie, good to see you again. Hello.
Yes, Midge, wasn't it? Madge.
Yes, yep. You know, just meeting with Eloise like we do daily, to talk about math and science.
Oh, but more importantly, I think the department head is under some medical distress. If you could get the door open, perhaps.
Oh, good lord. I wrestle very furious with one handle.
Knock. Clearly the women knocking was insufficient, so you knocked at the apples, you rattle. Yeah, it's clearly locked.
Listen. I came here today in a taxi driven by Morris. Do you know Morris is a taxi driver, very skilled gentleman.
Morris?
He knows an awful lot about.
Oh, Maurice.
Don't tell him I got his name wrong.
Your secret is safe with us.
Listen, I'm just going to go and fetch him. I'll be right back. Keep a lookout just in case somebody passing by has a fire axe or something.
Yeah.
I love how that escalated.
And then I'm off to find Maurice.
Yep, and the good news is that you had caught sight of him. I think maybe Maurice, when you dropped Sir Reggie off this morning, you just parked the car because you were going into one of the nearby laboratories to do some work, so you know exactly where to find him.
Morris, come quick! 2 ladies are in distress, and possibly somebody else.
2 ladies, you say? What is Maurice looking? Now you got me doing it. What is Maurice? What is he working on at present?
We'll say it is the central gas manifold for the Bunsen burners in the chemistry lab.
Oh, geez, that sounds like.
Well, it just needs. You have it half disassembled. It was mostly just about, taking it apart, cleaning everything, re-greasing, putting everything back together, maybe replacing a hose or something.
So
Something's relatively straightforward but lengthy.
All the gas is shut off.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's not going to be any
100%.
problem. Okay. I was like, yeah.
Well, hold on. Make a mechanics roll.
Mechanics roll. I'm good at that. I'll do the roll.
We'll see.
Looks like a 15. That's likely going to be good enough.
15 under what? What is your total score?
70. So it's actually under 35, which is I think the hard.
Yeah. So so 15 under 75 is a hard success for you. Yeah. So the first thing you did was check and make sure that the central supply was turned off. You opened some windows. You bled all the machines. So yeah, everything is completely fine. We don't have to worry about an unexpected explosion.
Look, safety first.
Yes.
It's important. Anyways, I'll bring a few rudimentary tools, probably a hammer and some sort of chisel, and I'll go see if I can help out with whatever this situation is. I feel it's in my nature to be helpful.
Yeah, you got a little toolbox, all kinds of fun stuff. So the gentlemen rejoin the ladies who are, still listening.
I, of course, make introductions. Midge, Morris, Louise.
Nice to meet you, Maurice Church.
Hello, Maurice. Madge.
Madge, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And I think I know Eloise because I'm here often.
Yeah.
But I've seen
Eloise.
Maurice around. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know Maurice.
Yeah. Especially given your interest in electronics. So, cool. Well, there is quite obviously a locked door.
Are the hinges on the outside?
They would be on the inside.
Damn. All right, I'll try to unlock the door using my mechanical abilities.
So do you have any points in locksmith?
Oh, I don't think so. I think that's a locksmith 1.
Okay. Because you are an upstanding, God-fearing man, you've never focused on trying to pick locks. But what I will do is say this: if you can make a hard mechanics check, that will count for success on locksmithing.
All right, I'll do it. I'm going to succeed right now. That is 74.
Over,
so I believe,
over what? Or under what?
It's over 70.
Okay,
so I'm not making that.
Yeah, you just it's like you got big chisels and hammer. It's just not quite. Now you do have an option here. You always have 2 options. You can spend luck, but you are way above the target you're trying to hit, so luck is probably out. Luck is
I'm
best
just gonna
if you're
fail.
Or you can push it, which means re-roll again. If you can narrate how you, in this case, for example, oh, you know what? I actually have these smaller chisels and files, and clearly a different tool that I have is useful. Right. Or, you know what? I actually have a little magnifying glass, or some way that you can try harder, take more time, or otherwise take a different approach that can give you a chance to try it again. Then you may re-roll. The downside of doing this is that if you fail again, then some unforeseen consequence is likely.
All right.
Or you can just fail, or you can accept the fail and then be like, we should kick it down. It's entirely up to you.
I'm a bold, brave man. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to. I have a similar problem with my door. Like there's like a panel over the doorknob that you can actually unscrew, unfortunately. So I'm going to see if I can do something similar to that nature with this. All right, here comes. Push it. 53. That's that is a regular success, I believe. Yes.
Well, I will say this. While you aren't unable to disengage the locking mechanism, you are able to remove the plate itself. And you think that with a little bit of elbow grease and maybe some help from Sir Reggie, you can like wedge something in to more easily force the door without like breaking the frame. Right. But in doing so, you do get a little bit of a glimpse into the room.
Oh.
And what you see is Professor Carruthers. He is seated at his desk. There is blood pouring out of his eyes and nose and ears. He is not moving. Would you like to give me a sanity check, please?
All right, that's where's my sanity? It's 50, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. All right, come on, sanity. I got 5.
Oh, hard success. You know what?
Yeah.
If anything, it redoubles your desire to get in there. It doesn't really occur to you anything strange might happen. Clearly something's wrong with him. So your compassionate Quaker heart reaches out. You don't suffer any sanity loss.
This man is still a child of God, and we still have to help him.
Yes, clearly you never met him. Anyway, so I will say that if what is your strength, Maurice and Sir Reggie? What is each of your strengths?
My strength is 70.
Okay. And yours, Sir Reggie?
70.
Oh yeah, between the two of you, now that the mechanism is exposed, you're not going to worry about like actually unlocking it. You're just going to get a pry bar in and push back the bolt. And then with a combination of good angling of a chisel and a little bit of blunt force, you're able to pop the door open. So, as you step into the room, every surface is covered in scribblings. Books. Now, this is a lovely, well-appointed room, very walnut, very, very Victorian, lovely brocade chaise and some leather side chairs. It's quite warm and stuffy in here, although the little fire looks like it has gone out. It's clear that there was a fire at some point last night. So it's very warm and stuffy. There's a kind of a coppery smell that's and then there's an undernote of unwashed human, kind of an unpleasant fug in the room. And there are books that have been pulled out of the bookshelf that are open with scrawling in ink and pencil and charcoal and chalk on them, on the floor, on furniture, on the walls, on the windows, on the desk. It is a very disordered space. And yes, now you all see the figure of Professor Carruthers. He is not moving. He is not babbling at the moment. Everyone except for Morris, I need you to give me a sanity check.
So my sanity's 50. I just have to get under 50.
50 or under is a success.
Okay.
But what
How
about
about
I got
an
77? Yeah.
So
What if
88
he
over
did that?
50. What was yours, Eloise?
77 over 50.
Okay, fail. So Reggie?
86 over 40.
Cool. I would like roll d4s, all of you, and take that amount of sanity damage.
Jeez.
When you take sanity damage, your sanity is reduced, therefore increasing the likelihood of failing the next sanity roll. If you take 5 sanity at any one time, you have a bout of temporary insanity. If you take more than 20% of your total starting sanity in the course of a session, you gain indefinite insanity.
Dang it.
So that's fun. And it's 20% rounded down. So yeah. So like, for example, for those of you who have sanity of 50, if you take more than 10 points at any point during the session, you gain indefinite insanity. Which
So you
is
have to have three. You have to have 3 really bad rolls, basically.
or frankly, 1.
Oh, so there's a D10 possibly.
Oh, yeah. Or multiples of other die. Because, I mean, table talk, like someone who's dead or badly injured, any kind of violence, including fighting at all, can have a little bit of impact on your sanity. But encounter with things that are supernatural / eldritch and horrific are very likely to drive the average person immediately insane.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. So, how much loss did you guys take?
I lost 3 sanity.
Okay, so you're probably fine. You're all taken aback. Yes. And perhaps, Madge,
fine.
the reason that you take the most sanity damage is because you haven't had a chance to examine the strange equations that are scrawled on every surface, but
Well,
subconsciously.
that's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if any of it made sense to me. But clearly some of it did because I took 3 sanity damage.
Would you like to make a mathematics roll?
Yeah.
Now, you haven't had a chance to study anything, so this is just to help to calibrate how much of this you take in and comprehend at the moment.
Okay.
Math.
You're extremely unlikely to fail.
I got a 58 under 75.
Ah, but not a hard success, right?
No.
Good for you.
Well, wouldn't a hard success have hurt me? You understand all of it, and now you're insane.
Well, a critical success would have been really interesting. Suffice it to say that you, with a regular success, you do not comprehend it, but you do recognize that it is not nonsense, but it is a form of mathematics that you are utterly unfamiliar with, and it distresses you to your core.
Sounds like economics.
Yes, and you take an additional sanity point.
Dang it.
So
I take 4 this time, but that's okay because I have to take 5 to be
5 in one, and
right?
this is 2 different things. So it's 5 in one go from one source, or
Okay.
if you start with like 50 sanity, 10 total across any source.
Okay.
So we'll just keep track of those things.
Gotcha.
So door open, you see what you see in front of you. What happens? Who does what?
I see if I go up and I see if everything is safe around there, just to see if this man is like in any major distress. And once I see that it's safe, I will motion over Eloise to do the real medical procedure.
Sure. So give me a spot hidden, unless you're rushing forward to like explicitly check his pulse or something that would require like a first aid or a medicine.
Spot hidden. Oh, this is not going to be great. I'm 25 and I'm at 36 over 25, unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, you don't spot anything dangerous, and just your general sense of the room is that it's safe to enter. But yeah, that's about all you get. It's really, really quick. And probably because your mind is on, I need to get the medical professional over here to see to this man.
Precisely. Motion over Eloise. Eloise, get over here. Man needs help.
Yes, of course. And I head over, medicine mode activated, like
Yes.
real medicine mode. I usually don't have to use that in the school.
It's true.
Only every now and then. There was like kid a few
Ice
years
packs and
ago.
Band-Aids.
The trampoline happened and there was a whole thing. Anyway, so I rush over, and I guess I will like see if he's alive. Standard medical practice things.
Well, so here's my question. Are you just checking for a pulse, or are you trying to figure out what's like, are you doing a medical examination, or are you just like, is he alive or not? Because those are different skills. It's the difference between first aid and actual medicine.
I mean, I think the first thing would be to see if he's alive.
I will say
And then it would be
you'll
trying-
get that with a successful
Yeah.
medicine. So you might as well just,
Okay.
my advice to you is to go for a straight medicine.
Okay. Wow, dice. Okay. I might use a boon thing. Which one does which again for our boons? Because I got 80 over 70, which is annoying
You can spend a minor
to me personally.
Yeah,
to reduce,
subtract 10?
to subtract 10.
We have 2
Yeah, I'll
majors and
subtract-
1 minor.
I will use the minor to make it a 70-70.
Okay.
Like, I got 70.
Okay. Or you could push it, but we've already done that. Yes, you are somewhat distracted. But you can confirm that he is most certainly dead. You can tell, however, from the texture of his skin, although it's hanging off him somewhat loosely. He was never like a huge man, but he was a little portly. He has lost a significant amount of weight since you've seen him. He is unshaven. He is unkempt. So although his skin feels a little bit loose, it is still quite warm to the touch and warmer than the room. So your estimation is that you and Madge may have been witnesses to his final utterances as you were listening through the door, but he has recently expired.
He's dead.
Yes. And I will say as a result of a barely succeeding, you do not see any obvious wounds to, like there's no stab or gunshot wound. There's no ligature mark around the neck. There's no discoloration that might suggest poison. He doesn't have petechiae to suggest that perhaps he suffocated or suffered an aneurysm of any sort. So you kind of go through obvious causes. However, his left eye is completely bloodshot, and there is significant trauma to the interior corner. Although both eyes, both ears, both nostrils are, slowly trickling blood, there is some sort of trauma to the interior corner of his left eye, which you could examine further.
Oh, yeah, I will. That seems exciting.
Let's do another medicine.
Cool. Surely the dice won't betray me twice. So anyway, the dice betrayed me twice. I got 85 over 70.
Well
man.
done. What is everyone
Well,
else doing? Are you sharing any of your observations with everyone else, or is this kind of your internal?
I think, as someone who tells everybody everything, I am telling them everything as I'm examining.
All right.
Like,
everyone knows-
the thoughts, they're out loud.
Everyone knows everything, Eloise. So you all know that he is dead. She is giving you a play-by-play as to ruling out potential causes of death, and then her failed examination of the strange contusion to the interior corner of his left eye. What is everyone else doing?
I am scribbling down whatever I can of the stuff that's. I've got like a legal pad, and I'm just like trying to do stuff.
Making notes of the little bits of equations that
And
interest
trying
you?
to. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. You should definitely work very hard to figure it out. What about Sir Reggie and Maurice?
I'm going to contact the police because that seems important at this point.
Campus security? Sure.
Campus
Maurice
security
is
would
so
also
smart.
be a good idea.
Cool. So Maurice leaves everyone, knowing that they're in no danger or believing that they're in no danger. You make a quick trip to track down the nearest campus security. There are a number of quite valuable artifacts that are stored here and in the adjacent Miskatonic Museum of Antiquities. So it's not that hard to find someone, and they can obviously pull in the local constabulary. They'll tell you it'll be a good 10 minutes. But that someone will come and they will ask you to, the campus security official will ask you to return to the room and make sure that no one else enters.
Okay.
Things
I'll
like
do that.
Evidence contamination and chain of custody are not really that much of a thing in the 1920s. Frankly, back then it was like, oh, there's not someone standing right by with a smoking gun. I guess we'll never solve this murder. Unless there's some outsider who's in town, and then clearly they're the ones that did it. Let's be real. But folks know, at least, don't let all the students trample through the room. So you have what are you doing, Sir Reggie?
I had a quick question.
Yes.
These scrawlings all over the walls, that's an
Yes.
ink, right?
Yes.
I am going to check the windows just to see if they're secured.
All right. Yes, the windows are locked. If you're doing a general investigation, you could spot hidden for me.
Okie doke. I believe I got a 10, which is a hard success.
Nice.
Ooh, excellent.
Ooh.
So you confirm that the windows are locked from the inside. Indeed, they do appear to be covered in scribblings and scrawlings that, I mean, who knows? It could be algebra. It could be Arabic for as much as you know. But then you cast your eyes around the rest of the scene. And although everything seems to be a bit out of place, I will say with your hard success, your eye is drawn to, especially since you've drawn the curtains to check the locks, a little glint of light. Some object that is located beneath this big carven oak desk that the body is set at. Something just underneath it, some metallic object, just so happens to catch the light from the windows perfectly. Would you like to examine it?
I mean, it's obviously the key to the door, and we need that to secure the room. I am going right in there.
Perfect. You would think that it would be. It is, however, a rather fancy brass letter opener. It's one of those that's meant to kind of look a bit like a sword. You know, it's got a like maybe a little fake jewel on the pommel, little, you know, carved cross guards. As you pull it out from underneath the desk, a good 6 inches or the majority of the blade is covered in blood.
Oh, goodness. Is there earwax and eye goo on it as well?
I would say, because that's a hard success, there might be a bit of something, some sort of tissue, grayish, pinkish gray on the tip.
Good God. I place it very gently on the desk in front of the deceased.
Eloise, you are right there. I will give you another medicine check with a bonus die.
Ooh,
Do it.
bonus die. An additional tens die, it says.
Yes. Yeah. You can just roll the tens die and take because it's a bonus die. Take the lower.
Yeah, okay.
I'm rooting for you.
Okay. It's 90 or 100.
Is the lowest that you got?
It was 90.
The lowest you
Because my
got
dice
is
hate me. Yeah,
90?
because I rolled.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would you like to use
It
a major
is.
boon to get another
I
bonus
think
die?
I would like
should.
another bonus
You're
die.
the worst
I
nurse
think
in history.
I'm the worst nurse. It's because I spent all my time gossiping.
Yeah.
You want me to do the
You
medical
put a knife
examination?
in front of me, and there's a knife-shaped eye wound, and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what this could
It's
be.
a
Anyway,
mystery.
the third
I
one
think-
was a 50.
Okay, which for you is a success.
It's a success.
Just a regular
yes.
success. Okay, cool. Yes,
Yes.
I will say as you are still kind of puzzling over something's going on here. I'm not sure what it is. As Sir Reggie gently places this implement on the desk, you look down. You connect the dots finally in your head. Someone has attempted to give the professor a lobotomy.
And of course, since this went through my head, it also went straight out my mouth
Yes.
for everyone else to hear.
Yes.
That is disturbing.
It wasn't me.
I'm guessing Maurice is not familiar with the
That's
concept
not sus
of
at all.
lobotomy.
It definitely wasn't me.
Listen, well, I had made that comment earlier about wanting to be the department head, but I would have never done it this way.
How would you perform a lobotomy, Madge?
I wouldn't have done a lobotomy, okay? I probably would have sweetened the deal with maybe an offshore bank account and a luxury home in the Hamptons. Which clearly I have money for because I'm a math teacher.
Yes. The highest salary is only here for our teachers.
These scrawlings on the walls,
Yes.
I would like to try and see if I can spot an origin point or perhaps an ending point, because he's sitting behind the desk, right? And they're all over the place.
Yes.
Did he start writing in a book on the desk and then move around the room, or
Let's see. I think I think that's probably spot hidden. Unless you can argue for a different skill.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do I know that Sir Reggie is doing this? Because I could, if he mentioned it to me, I might be like, oh, that's brilliant. I'll help. Because I have decent spot hidden.
By all means.
You may also
Incidentally-
simply roll it yourself. Yeah,
Okay.
certainly Sir Reggie is visually kind of trying to piece things together, and it's
Right.
it's quite likely that might trigger that you would make the same roll.
37 under 60.
Pretty decent.
And what was your roll, Sir Reggie?
Oh, 55 over 25.
Yeah. So Reggie is standing there, hands clasped behind his back, in his tweed, kind of, yes, very interesting. Not picking up on anything.
I think that's an equation.
That looks like a number. Madge, however, you are able to deduce that this is layer upon layer, that this has been going on for some time. It's not clear. There's not nothing that you uncover would answer Sir Reggie's unexpressed question around, like, did this start somewhere? But more like he has been, the impression you get that is he has been holed up in this room for quite some time. With different implements, like when one implement ran out or broke, just picked up some other implement and has just been furiously scribbling this disturbing nonsense for days.
Had no one seen him in days?
So he was alone in this locked room, yet someone attempted to perform a lobotomy?
Also, who was the one doing the noises?
Do you think maybe he tried to give himself a lobotomy? Is that something people do when they're under stress?
I mean,
Maybe.
I've wanted to pull my eyes out before.
Have you?
But there's always like that part of you that's like, no, don't do that. I mean, if you didn't have that part, maybe you would give yourself a lobotomy if you just couldn't take something anymore.
But wasn't the implement found elsewhere in the space? It wasn't near him.
It was, in fact, it was effectively on the floor beneath the desk.
Oh.
Perhaps.
Well, then.
With no roll given your luck at the moment, Eloise, I will say it is certainly plausible that he might have attempted to do this himself, and then as he was dying, maybe like dropped it and kicked it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's nothing that Sir Reggie or you have seen would make it impossible. It doesn't mean it's true. It just means that that's I think to you it would sound like at least a viable hypothesis.
Yes. And I mean, the noises, he's not long dead. The noises was likely from him that we heard.
Also, is there another way out of this room?
Ooh, spot hidden.
Oh, okay. Well, yet again, terrible, but here we go. 67 over 20, I believe.
Would you like to spend luck?
Right. Would you like to spend 47 luck? Don't.
Do I have enough luck for that?
I wouldn't. If I were you.
I will eat the failure.
Yeah, there's no oh yes, and if you fail a roll, if the end result of the roll after pushing, luck spend, boons, whatever, is still a fail, be sure to tick that box next to the skill. You might have an opportunity to advance that skill after the session.
Do I do that now?
Yeah, anytime you fail a thing, just tick the box. Only one tick matters. And that's for everyone. Yeah, I mean, it looks like, I don't know, you've been in a number of these offices. Yes, you don't immediately notice any. There certainly aren't any obvious doorways. Clearly, there are a couple of windows, but the windows have been drawn back. They're obviously locked.
What if I rolled a 36 under 60 for spot hidden? Do I know something special about this office since I've been coveting it clearly?
You I will say absolutely no. That in the bookshelf behind him is a like one of the little panels in the wood is actually a little pop-out panel, and behind which you strongly suspect there might be a little bit of giggle water, party juice, hooch.
Oh, well, he doesn't need that anymore.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go look at that because I'm gonna be like, I wonder if there's anything else in there.
Yeah, I mean, you can pop it open, and indeed it does have some. And this is not, this is not rum runner stuff. This isn't bathtub gin. This is the good stuff.
Oh, it's the
medically
good stuff?
prescribed kind of stuff.
Well, I think we should take this as evidence.
You're right, dear.
As Madge grabs
Okay.
a bunch of bottles and throws them into her bag. Clearly, this is evidence.
Well, no, I just want to grab these because I don't want them to have ideas about him being a lush or anything. So I'm going
Yes.
to take all this stuff so that we can keep his good name, intact.
And the
It's
right-
like
Yes, he
wiping his
definitely
didn't
get that
history. If
prescribed.
he had some kind of magical power to have a browser history.
It's really rank in here. I wonder when the last time he was seen alive was. It must be in several days.
Well, doesn't someone bring him food?
Oh, someone does, but he hasn't been able to get into the room for several days. He had let me know that he was unable to see the professor at all for several days. That's why I came to you, Matt, of course, because I was worried for his health and well-being if he hadn't been
That
eating
makes
or
sense.
drinking this entire time.
I just thought he had tired of my lectures.
Was that Virgil
should've
Quincy
known.
you're talking about? Well, we should
Yes.
probably have a talk with him then.
Oh, yes, he might know more. Were the security coming? Do we
I mean,
do something?
yeah, I mean, Maurice returned maybe like 30 seconds ago, and they're going to be, they will be as long as you need them to be within reason to complete whatever it is that you need to do here.
I will craft my masterpiece that will take 5,000 hours.
Yeah.
Paint.
I would also like to know if the Miskatonic Library has books on Lemospeys, how to perform them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would say you probably don't. So would you have looked that up previously?
Oh no.
Okay. I would say that without a roll, you assume so, given that there is a fair collection of the medical arts, including some, historical, actually quite a large, this is something you probably do know from getting a tour when you first came to visit. There's a fairly large collection of treatises on the primitive practices of trepanning, which occurs in a variety of cultures historically around the world. This is drilling holes in the skull while with a living patient to open them up to the influences from beyond.
In that case, I think we ought to check with the librarian and see who's checked out such tomes.
So, what happens? You should definitely split the party.
I was told we were not supposed to do that.
You 100% can.
I mean, I don't care. I always split the party. It's kind of my signature. Eloise, you want to come with me?
Yeah.
Just
Where are we going?
anywhere but here. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Who should we go talk to?
One group of us should talk to Virgil Quincy, the teaching assistant, to what's his name? Karagi, to Professor Karagi. So yeah.
Oh, well, that's actually a good point. So Virgil Quincy is actually the TA for Professor Joseph Carruthers, the corpse.
Oh, okay. So good.
But yes, the visiting professor, Professor Karagi, is the individual that you had seen. So we'll say that Maurice will bring into the conversation. I read an article in the Mirror a few days ago. That you remember the day that the clock tower rang that
Oh,
strange thing and
yeah.
everyone's clock stopped? About Professor Karaji, who had apparently, through his linguistic and anthropological research, uncovered some sort of strange branch of mathematics.
Right.
Well, and I
Madge
wanted a
knows that,
reason to talk to him about that
yes,
anyway.
Madge
so
knows
we
that
could
Professor
go.
Carruthers was very interested in that.
Oh.
Yeah, so we could go. I mean, I've been wondering about that anyway. And I've got these sketchings here on this notepad, and maybe I could go talk to him about that.
To Professor Karaji?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps I should leave that to Madge and deal with Virgil Quincy and talk to him to see about what he was doing. Seeing that's more, I can talk more on an interpersonal level than on
Yeah. I got the
technical
math
level.
stuff.
Yeah. Also, I don't want to go insane. Just table talk.
Yeah.
There's no
Well,
getting around
He's
it.
also unsafe.
I'm going to get there first, probably, because I'll be asking too many questions, you know?
So we for sure know that Madge is going to go and try and track down Professor Karaji. Maurice is going to try to go find Virgil Quincy. What are Eloise and Reggie doing?
Well,
I'm going to go to the library and
Okay.
find who checked that out.
Cool. See if anyone.
I should go.
so we're splitting up.
Sure.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm going with Maurice because
Okay.
Quincy was the one who mentioned all of this, and I think he should know about the outcome of what's happened here.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Table
Because
talk.
he's right to be
What?
answered. Yeah.
Y'all are going to let me go to this guy by myself with
100%.
mathematics?
Listen.
100%.
Oh my
Yeah, for
God. Y'all
sure.
are wild.
You'll
It's
be
perfectly
fine.
safe. It's normal math.
You'll be
That's true.
fine.
I do feel safe because of math.
Yes. So
We'll meet up with you at that professor once we're done talking with Quincy. It shouldn't take long.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Sounds great.
So we'll do library, young Mr. Quincy, then Professor Karaji, with the intent that the others will rejoin if Madge is still alive and sane from her conversation. So Reggie, you cross the quad to the library. It's immaterial to track down a librarian. And what is it that you do?
Hello, I'm Sir Reggie.
Oh,
I was giving a talk the other day in the lecture hall.
oh yes, about Outer Mongolia.
Oh, yes. Brilliant place, South Mongolia.
You
Brilliant.
know, sorry, I didn't say it at the time, but Ulaanbaatar is nowhere near Tunguska.
Well, we have to make small adjustments as we're telling the story in order to
You don't.
make it.
You don't. This is a institute of learning, and it would be appreciated if you exercised a bit more precision and educated our students about basic facts of geography.
Indeed. It's just narrative is important because it helps you remember things, and if the key facts are
But if what you're
embedded
remembering
within
is geographically inaccurate, that's actually a problem, not a benefit.
Possibly. I'll take this under consideration. Why, you have lovely eyes now that I'm thinking about it. You're both intelligent and beautiful.
All right. I think that sounds like a charm to me. As you're trying to distract them from, yes. And Sir Reggie is a bit of a daddy, so maybe it'll work.
Why, thank you. That would be a hard success.
This older middle-aged woman will, oh, you have successfully distracted her. Well, what is it I can do for you, Sir Reggie?
Well, I was just looking through the medical section, and the book I wanted has been checked out. I was wondering if I could get a quick sneak peek at to see who has it.
Oh, certainly. What was the title?
Lobotomies Through the Ages, or something of the sort.
Lobotomies through the edges. That doesn't ring a bell, but you're very charming, so sure, I'll look at this. So they will go through the card catalog and or register of books and find it's like, oh, well, there are a few medical texts that cover lobotomies, but at least according to my records, they're all in the stacks.
Oh,
Here, come with me. They're all kind of in the same section. And she will lead
thank you.
you. She will lead you through the kind of grand gallery where there are desks set out for people to study, up a set of stairs, wrought iron, to a second floor, and into these kind of like deep, long hallways in the medical sciences section. And it's like, oh, here you go. Here's all the neurosurgery and neuroscience, and it's a relatively modest. It's an evolving field of study, but that we have one of the best on the Eastern Seaboard. And yes, I mean, I don't see. She consults kind of her notes. No, it looks like everything is here.
You've been a great help. I'm so thankful. In my local library, when you check out a book, there's a little card that goes in the front,
Yes,
and you
yes.
have to countersign.
Oh, well, come back with me. She'll go back to the little desk and look and see. It's like, it looks like the last time any of these books was checked out was last semester.
My goodness. Well, I would absolutely, between you and me, I would absolutely love to see you again at some point.
Just bright blush.
Would
She
you
readjusts her wig.
would you be available? We could go to a club and have a luncheon at some point.
Oh, absolutely. Here's my address, because it's the 20s. Here's my address. I live alone. I never lock my doors.
I will pick you up at 11,
Fantastic.
and then I will try to leave the scene.
Yes. So, Eloise, Maurice.
Yes.
It's not that difficult to track down young Mr. Quincy. Eloise, as you approach, he is in fact in one of the lecture halls, preparing. He has been covering for Professor Carruthers' lectures for the past several days, and mostly what he had come to complain about, you had just diagnosed as stress, but his specific symptoms were reading between the obvious hyperbole. He was describing that it felt like his head was splitting open and he couldn't sleep, and it sounded very dramatic because, again, he's a hypochondriac. But everything that your diagnosis was, basically he needs some relaxation, or perhaps a hefty dose of laudanum. But he is in fact sitting on the floor, just pressing at his head, kind of rocking as you come in. He's quite ashen and a little sweaty. At the sound of your approach, he will look up and, "Nurse, I told you, those tablets aren't helping."
Oh dear, let's take a look since I happen to be here. And I do another medicine check.
Sure.
Do it. We got one more major boon.
Listen, I got 76 over 70 because why shouldn't I get that? I'm just going to spend a little luck
No.
Oh.
for fun and bring it down to 70 so he gets some answers.
Okay. I will say with just a bare success, his pulse is racing. Your guess is that his blood pressure is quite high. He does appear to be in some sort of medical distress, but your previous experience with him is that, it could very well be that he has a headache, and then just the psychosomatic illness that he suffers from is causing for him to feel it more keenly than perhaps he should. But you're certain he's not just making it up. He is indeed suffering.
Well, if those tablets aren't working, let's try to get you some of the good stuff. I'll rummage around in my bag for whatever the 1920 good stuff is. I think morphine gets
Yeah.
blocked in 1925, but
Yeah,
I
it's
bet.
it's straight up heroin.
Yeah,
So you can
I got you some.
you can shoot him up if you want. I won't even
Definitely.
make you make a roll. But I will make you
Why
make another.
shouldn't I?
I'll make you make another medicine roll to make sure that you do the dosage correctly.
Oh, this man's gonna die. No, I got 53 under 70.
Okay, so you calibrate the dosage correctly. You were just about to overdose him, commit straight up medical malpractice. But luckily, you're like, oh no, okay.
Whoopsie. What does that mean? Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Inject.
And then you squeeze like 5/6 of the syringe back into the little bottle, and then give him a little bit. And in fact, it is enough that it provides him with some sort of relief. It also makes him a little bit loopy. But yes, he immediately, you can just see all the muscles in his face relax. His hands just kind of fall into his lap. He kind of sits there and slumps. Oh, thank you. This is the first relief I've had in days.
What has been the trouble? Obviously, it hasn't just been the stress of covering the lesson plans, has it? Anything odd? Any strange dreams?
I haven't really been sleeping. I was helping Professor Carruthers with the translation.
Translation.
The tablets. Professor Karaji thought that he had found a translation of some of the sigils in the Canary Islands collection that had befuddled the archaeologists and linguists. He's a Berber, and a great scholar of the ancient languages of North Africa. And he thought that he had stumbled across an accurate translation that was mathematical in nature. So I was helping the professor to apply that translation, record the equations. It was all very heady stuff, well above my understanding, though a few days ago it did feel like I was starting to understand a pattern, and that's when the professor locked himself away, and I honestly haven't slept since then. I've been thinking about the equation, the suggestions that it has, the potential. There's so much that it suggests that it might reveal if only we could complete it.
If only indeed. Where were these tablets you were studying?
Well, they were at the Museum of Antiquities, but Professor Karaji was given permission to take them to his chambers to study them more closely.
Oh, interesting.
It's almost like I can feel it. I can feel the pattern. It's like it's inside me. I can't quite see it, but I can feel it. And his hands reach up. It's like I can feel it growing. Like it wants to come out. Like it wants...
Outside of your head,
like it
for
wants,
example.
Yes. It wants out. It has to come out. And he starts hitting himself in the head.
Maurice, stop him! Stop him!
I proceed to stop him.
Would you like to make a fighting brawl?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. I don't want to hurt him particularly. In addition to that, I kind of recognize this stress as something that the church talks about, because in the Quaker tradition, they actually try to silence a lot of the thoughts in their heads that cause them such stress. So I'm gonna try to see if I can talk him through something like that.
Let's see. Do I think he's going to fight back, or is he going to dodge? I think he's going to fight back. So this is so he's going to roll, you're going to roll, and we're going to compare degrees of success. He's just a totally regular guy. Cool.
I have 66 under 70.
Okay, well he failed. So you are indeed able to grab his arms and prevent him from beating himself in the head. And so instead he just starts slamming his head against this hard wooden desk.
I'm going to try to pull him away from it and just kind of hold him such that he can't really hit at anything.
Cool.
Kind of
give me a strength check. He's going to try to resist.
Also 70. This is my 31. So that's actually a hard success.
Cool. He also got a hard success. However, you are the active person, and in this case, the tie goes to the person who's acting. So he is struggling mightily. He is not a strong man. He's a little pencil nut geek. But you can feel just that he's like full of adrenaline at this point, and he is thrashing and fighting. But you are able to pull him enough away that he can't reach the desk, and he's just it has to come out. It has to come out. The world.
Cool. I'm going to find some drugs that knock people out and then apply them to him.
Cool.
I'm going to try to calm him down with my voice as best I can, but
all right.
I don't know how what I
that would
exactly.
Be well, persuade.
Would it be fast talk?
Well, so fast talk is usually deceptive, but it could be that you're trying to distract him. That could be fast talk. Persuade is usually like using logic and facts, and charm is usually just like being friendly and charismatic. Intimidation obviously is trying to cow someone or frighten them.
With his state being such that it is that he's under the influence of drugs, I don't think his logic will be. His logic is that great, so I'm thinking fast talk might be the best thing. And
just to give him something. Hey, the other day I was seeing this thing about the baseball teams or whatever, just trying to distract him. So
like, oh yeah, buddy, come on, just relax. It's everything's all right. Feeling pretty. Lots of things to feel good about, I'd say. And 13. That's really good. That is not a crit, but that is a hard success.
Excellent. You start talking to him about the most recent baseball scores, which of course involves some mathematics, and not knowing it, he is actually a baseball fan, and he starts talking about all the statistics, quite manically, and his eyes are quite wide, and that he's like, yes, the numbers, yes, I can see they can be transformed. The pattern, it can all be predicted. Yes. Doctor, nurse, you want to give him another?
I just want a medicine that make him sleepy. I bet we have something for that. I don't know what it is. Sedatives. That's a word.
I'm sure you do. You have your little medical bag with you. And basically all you do is give people what are now illegal drugs. I mean, that's what a nurse is for.
Yeah.
So I will say no roll needed, you have it, but I will require a medicine check for you to administer it safely. However, no setback will be needed because he is now, calm-ish.
Right. Okay, so how are we doing on those boons?
Worst nurse in history.
Worst nurse ever. I'm so bad at this.
Your skill is, medicine is like what, 70, 75?
70. It's 70.
Yeah,
It should be good.
Yeah, this is literally your job. And you're awful at it.
Can I do we flip-flop the numbers for a major boon as a possibility?
I just re-roll it. Just re-roll a 10.
Re-rolls.
Re-roll a 10.
All right. I'll re-roll the 10.
Yeah, Eloise has been self-medicating. This is why.
Yeah, do your dice know that it's better to roll low? Like maybe you should just talk to him for a second.
I should give him a nice little talk. Anyway, the re-roll's fine. 44 under 70. I almost misdosed him again. But I picked out the right thing to give him this time. Aggressive. Oops, and put that one away.
Right. It's like, oh, yeah, wait, that's methamphetamine. That's not what we need right here.
That's not the one.
Yeah.
This one. So
some straight up barbiturate. Yes, but because he's not struggling and you get the right bottle this time, you're able to dose him up, and it takes, it's intravenous, so it takes effect almost immediately. He, to the little extent that he was still struggling against you, Maurice, he relaxes. You kind of lay him gently down on the floor, but he's still kind of mumbling, "Yes, I can see it. It's almost here. Oh, one last piece and it will be complete. Yes, yes." So when his head explodes,
What?
Ah!
I think that is a good opportunity for Eloise and Maurice to give me a sanity check.
All right, sanity is 50. 35.
99, baby, let's go.
And what is your sanity?
Yo.
I don't know.
Mine is
48.
50.
Oh, so it's under 50, so that's a crit fail
Yeah.
for Eloise. Cool.
Yeah.
So Eloise, give me an intelligence check.
31 under 80.
Cool, which means that you are present enough to understand exactly what just happened.
Yeah, cool.
So, Maurice, you take 1 for your
Okay.
success. Eloise, go ahead and roll me 2d4.
All right, that is 4.
Cool.
Sneaking in.
So you don't immediately have a bout of temporary insanity, but that's about as bad as it
Yeah.
can get. You are shaken to your core.
Yeah.
'Cause
There's a
It's not like it just went pop. There was a sound. Kind of a squishy sound. His face went slack, his eyes crossed, blood began to pour out of all of his orifices. And then coming from here, there was almost a bulge, and you could hear the cracking of bone. And then the splitting of flesh as it, in slow motion, kind of split open. And everything inside that apparently had been under great pressure kind of sprayed out. Young Mr. Virgil Quincy's track to becoming the next associate professor of mathematics here at Miskatonic University has come to an unfortunate end.
looking good for Madge again.
Less competition. And Eloise, you do not lose your mind. However, this is most distressing. And because you understand the mechanisms of the human body, all of your roles to this point notwithstanding, you understand that this is not something that can happen. There is no normal mechanism whereby in all the annals of medical history, this is not a thing that happens. And are shook as a result.
And
I'm shooketh.
I see that I have enough human empathy, I assume, to see Eloise is visibly shaken. And so I just go
Freaking
up
out.
to Eloise and I put my hand on her shoulder. It's like, "Are you okay, Eloise?"
No, it's terrible. And I will collapse upon your shoulder and begin to weep, but like, a little bit.
I will hug Eloise and give her comfort. Just
All
a nice warm
Yes.
hug.
Yes, right next to the exploded body.
Right.
So the camera catches this lovely, lovely vignette of the two of you comforting each other, and then smash cut over to Madge. Madge, what are you doing?
I'm going to that dude's place, the
Professor Crotchy.
Nefarian. What's
Yes.
his name? Crotchy. Yes.
Professor Crotchy.
Yes,
He has
woman.
offices in the anthropology and linguistics department.
Okay. I
So,
go there.
Yeah. You probably
I'm gonna check both of them. Is he around? Like, have people seen him on campus lately?
you can certainly ask one of the students or another member of faculty, and where to locate him. And certainly when he, at the beginning of the term, when it was announced that he was here as a research fellow, you certainly would have seen him and, potentially have run into him a few times. You would know him to nod to.
Did I get his number?
I mean, if you want to.
Well, because then I could just like call him up on the old, right?
Yeah. Or honestly, you ask around and it's like, oh yeah, he's last I saw he was in his office. It's up on
Okay.
the 3rd floor.
I'm gonna go to his office.
Yeah, easy enough. Door's closed.
Knock, 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 knock.
Just a moment. The door opens. This kind of, I wouldn't say very handsome, but reasonably handsome, tall, slender man, deep bronze skin, very angular features. He's just putting a bit of a cap on his head, but he's got kind of curly, very glossy, short-cut hair. He is wearing Western clothes underneath, but he does have something. I think you would probably say it's kind of like a caftan, but it's not quite a caftan. But he is wearing an exterior robe that has a little bit of woven filigree at the lapel, kind of putting on this cap. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. You're one of the professors, yes? I'm sorry, my rudeness. Please come in. What can I do for you?
Well, hello. I'm Madge, and I wanted to talk to you about some math things that we saw. Really unfortunate. A few people that you seem to be working closely with are, one of them is dead.
Oh no! What's happened?
Well, he tried to give himself a lobotomy, right in the eyeball.
What? Who?
I can't remember his name. I have short-term memory loss.
Yeah, Professor Carruthers.
Professor Carruthers.
Oh, that's terrible, he says, with a mixture of, oh, that's terrible that someone's dead, but also like not being able to conceal an immediate reaction of dislike.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, forgive me. My conversations with the professor have been somewhat strained.
Well, I mean, if it was strained because he's very strange and often smells like sausage, I understand. But if it was about the math, I would love to talk to you about it, because I took down some different scribblings of some of the stuff that was just all over his office, and I had heard about, you having that great discovery about the new math, and I wanted to maybe meet with you and ask you, because I've never seen this math before, and I'm wondering if...
Come, let me show you.
Okay.
I'm by no means an expert in mathematics. I just, my general education was enough to recognize that the translation was more in the vein of mathematical equations than language, and perhaps that's why previous scholars were unable to decipher it. But coming from my native tongue is Berber, and I have studied some of the ancient forms, specifically Numidian, and then also partly I self-taught some of the ancient Garamantian inscriptions from Fezzan. And then in my undergraduate studies, I focused on the Songhay language, Timbuktu, and some strange combination of these. I always suspected that there was a connection. And when I had seen photographic plates of some of the tablets that were recovered from the Canary Islands, I wondered if perhaps they were some sort of encoded example. They clearly used the Libico-Berber Abjad, the alphabet, if you will, but the structure itself brought to mind some of the unique constructions and grammar of the Songhay language. And in fact, yes, I was able to deduce that this was some sort of scientific inquiry that predates any such things of ancient Greece and certainly Rome, and perhaps even more ancient than the work of the Hittites. It was a most amazing find. And of course, I availed myself of...
Sir,
Yes.
I need to stop you because I can't hear you over those chiseled features. I want to talk to you about this math. I speak English.
I apologize. Are you trying to charm him?
I mean, I just think he's good looking, and
Yeah.
I'm like kind of weird, and I just kind of say
Oh, okay.
things, you know.
Well, then he will be a kind gentleman and kind of like, oh, thank you for the compliment. I'm sorry. I do have a tendency, as the professor always reminded me, I do have a tendency to go on and on and on about my own particular areas of expertise. But it is
No,
most
I do
fascinating.
find them very interesting. But listen, there's a man who gave himself a lobotomy. I think we need to check out this math.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree. I think if it's most unfortunate. I didn't realize that the poor man was so unstable. But you're quite well known as an expert in mathematics, as I understand it.
Yes, but as I said before you started talking about all the languages in the world, I don't know this math. So maybe you know this math
Well, here,
and can explain it to me.
well, I don't understand the mathematical part. I only understand the linguistic. Here, let me show you what I've uncovered. And he will
Can we
pull
work
out.
together?
Yes, he will pull out a notebook and he will review it with you. Would you like to give me a mathematics roll?
Yes, I would.
Table talk. You either want to fail or you want a really, really good success.
Oh, geez, bud.
You don't know what happens.
I say let's do
You don't
it.
know what happens to people
I'm
who succeed but
excited.
don't have a great success. But Eloise and Sir Reggie just found out.
Oh, no. I'm excited. Okay. All right. We're going to
Get
do it. God, I hope I don't get Misha numbers. You know what I mean? We have boons, though, too, right?
Yes.
Let's do this.
We have
Yes.
one, I believe.
Everyone's noticed
Okay.
every time.
So that is a 78 above 75. So I should probably boon it up.
Would you like to push it?
Oh, pushing.
Pushing
just
means
want
you just
to-
re-roll it. The consequences of failure and maybe even success go up, however, if you push it. You at first look, you're like, this is literally gibberish, bro. But you know it's not, on the basis of
Right.
what Professor Carruthers, his particular emphasis around it. But at first glance, it doesn't make any sense to you. But
Do it.
Well,
you want to
I
push it?
feel like my character would not accept it not making sense
All right.
to her.
Go ahead.
So
and
I
push
guess I'm going to push it.
it. Sure.
Ooh. I got. What does it mean if I got a 00 and a 1?
That's a critical
Uh-oh.
success.
Oh, the other
Bam,
way.
baby. I didn't know. I've never used the 100 die before, to be
Okay.
honest. But I got 00 and I got a 1.
Perfect.
I believe that's what we call in the business a mega crit.
It is the best. It is mathematically the best result that you can get. Whether it's good for your character or not, it's certainly better than if you had gotten like a 50, for sure.
Okay.
So,
But I'm still probably going to go, okay, I got this.
So, Madge, would you like to give me a sanity check, please?
Not really. Yeah. My sanity is now 46, right?
Yes.
Okay. I got a 25.
Well done. Please roll a d6.
Oh my jeez. I didn't even get one of those out. Hold on. Okay.
Got to get the whole set.
I know, but I just have this sack of so many sets. It's a
I know
sack
how-
of sets.
I know
Okay.
the feeling.
5.
Okay. So I need you to do two things. One is
Okay.
reduce your sanity by 5,
Oh no.
which is going to, of course, trigger
Make
a
me not
bout
okay.
of momentary, temporary insanity. You will be
Okay.
temporarily insane for 9 rounds. I need you
It's a
to
lot of
also
rounds.
increase your Cthulhu Mythos score by 5, from 0 to 5.
What is that even?
It's one of
He's
your
so
Because
skills.
now I
About the
know
universe.
stuff.
Oh, there it is.
It's one of your skills. It starts at 0 for everyone
Okay.
until they are directly exposed to mythos, creatures and lore and knowledge, and you have just figured out.
Oh, and that's what makes my max sanity now 94 instead of 99.
And your max sanity also drops from 99 to 94. You can
Damn,
continue
dude.
studying this all you want, and that is in fact all you want to do for the next 9
I
rounds.
know.
Is
That's
you
all I want to do.
immediately perceive the fullness of this knowledge, this new branch. You hesitate to even call it mathematics because it encompasses mathematics and physics and biology and astronomy and disciplines for which you have no name, but that you have an intuitive grasp for. Don't worry about your mathematics rolls anymore because you're, at least temporarily, your mathematics skill is set at 200.
Nice.
It's a lot. I'm really mathy right now.
Yes, you are now the mathiest of math ladies on earth,
You're
at
gonna
least
change
temporarily.
Math. You're gonna change math as we know it.
Yeah.
More than that. Yes, very well done. You are going to, because you are suffering under temporary insanity, you are going to spend the next 9 rounds, which isn't all that long. It's a minute and a half, 2 minutes, but furiously calculating and transcribing as Dr. Karaji, oh, can I get you something? Like perhaps some tea or coffee? You simply just push him out of the way. You have no time for any kind of pleasantries. You are in the midst of revelation.
Even though he's so good looking, wow.
It doesn't matter. You
This is
perceive
intense.
you perceive him now as a jumbled mass of random happenstance. And what you are contemplating is the order, the ineffable order underneath all existence. It is an equation that describes a greater intelligence than you have ever even contemplated. What are Sir Reggie, Eloise, and Maurice doing at this moment?
Let's see. We're gonna go and try and find other members of the group. I think it would make more sense to go find Madge, seeing as her task seems math related, and the only underlying thing that kind of links these situations is the math itself. So maybe we don't know if what's happening, but it seems to be affected by people who know a lot about math, and that relates to this sort of math. That's what the taxi driver thinks.
Yeah, we gotta warn her not to read those tablets. Look what happened to Quincy.
Yeah.
It would probably flag down another security guy and be like, so
We got another one.
Close the lecture hall, cancel classes.
Right.
Get the police.
You see someone kind of moving off to go to Professor Crothers. We'll say it's a group of both campus security and some uniformed police officers from Arkham. And you'll kind of wave one of them over and say, there's another one over here. Don't know what happened. And it's just us today. Here's us finding bodies everywhere we go.
Look, yeah.
And of course, they look at you very suspiciously and then go, oh, no, that's fine. These are faculty. We're not going to be suspicious of them. It's totally
I'm the
fine.
nurse.
Yeah,
This is what happens. Nurses find dead people.
Fine.
I work on the equipment around here, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's normal.
Cool.
Forget the little blood splatters. All on this nice white coat.
Blood and other things. Yes.
At all.
Yes. Tissue. Cool. So yes, I will say you know the general area to go. So Reggie, having completed your side quest to the library and made a date for 11 p.m. I guess. Sure. Why not?
No, for lunch.
Oh, okay. Lunch tomorrow. Got it. So you were able to catch up together, and again, asking a helpful student where to go. You are able to arrive just as Madge is explaining the equation to Professor Karaji. Now, Professor Karaji is not skilled in mathematics particularly. However, he is very smart, and Madge is a very good teacher. So I'm going to have him roll education with a bonus die to see if he can comprehend what it is that Madge is saying. Okay, well, he failed on the first one, which is good for him. Oh, and he just made the second one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. By 1 point, literally. So, as you walk in, you can hear as you're approaching up the stairs, no, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. And you hear, no, but look, if you see, and then you hear scratching on a blackboard. See, if you counteract these two things, you can see the pattern that underlies them. Some nonsense. And then just as you walk in, you see this man, much as described, his face go from being puzzled to kind of going, yes, I see it. I see it. No. And he begins clutching his head. What happens?
He's going to explode.
What?
It just
What do you
happened to
mean,
Quincy. Quincy just exploded.
The
He
math-
learned too much of the math.
The math makes people explode.
You sound like my
Okay.
students.
We'll say at this time, this is enough for your 9 rounds of temporary insanity to have faded.
Okay, so now I'm not temporarily insane.
What happens?
I was just teaching him the math.
The math makes people insane. Quincy's head
no.
exploded because he didn't understand the math, just like him.
Am I insane? Am I insane?
Well,
Oh,
maybe
no,
you're
am
just
I
better at
insane?
math. No, you're just good at math.
Oh,
As you're talking, Professor Karaji, Dr. Karaji, goes and picks up one of the tablets and a piece of chalk and begins scribbling furiously, extending Madge's equation
I go up to him and I slap the
translating
chalk out of his hand.
freely. Okay, cool. I think he will attempt to dodge that.
stop doing math.
Sorry, do you want me to roll anything?
Yeah, that is going to be fighting brawl.
Okay, fighting brawl. What is that? Is that a 6 or a 9? That's bad.
Oh no.
That is very bad. My fighting brawl is what again? 70? So 92 over 70.
Oh no.
Okay, so not a critical fail, but he rolled a 9.
Oh, okay.
He is not good at this. He's reasonably dexterous though, and so this is more of a dodge. So he got a hard success.
Okay.
So he just like literally dodges out of the way as you come in kind of slowly. And you're not, as a Quaker, you're not so much about violence, so you're being careful not to harm him. And he just like spins away and says, "No, look, yes, the final translation." And he strikes through and draws this strange symbol on the board that not only completes this equation that he was literally transcribing from the tablet, but then also draws a line up to some of the other pieces that Madge had described. It is a strange, like a star almost, but twisted, warped in a way that is almost organic. You hear the clock tower chime. Only it's not the typical kind of Windsor that you're used to. It's this ethereal, beautiful, but still somehow discordant song. You feel disoriented momentarily. And as he finishes the stroke, there is a real change in the environment around you. Your perception of space warps. The corners of the room go out of true in a snap. As you look around yourselves, everything is simultaneously very close and very, very far away. Anything that you would ordinarily have perceived as a right angle is now warped and rounded, and if you try to focus on anything too much, it starts to swim before your eyes. It is very problematic. Please give me a sanity check, all of you.
What am I at? 49. I'm gonna spend some luck because
Cannot spend luck on sanity rolls.
Oh, dang it!
32 over 41. Or under 41.
All right. Madge succeeds.
91
Over.
44.
Cool. Give me an intelligence check if you wouldn't mind, Eloise.
Oh yeah, of course. No
And
problem.
Maurice failed.
51 over 49.
No.
Give me an intelligence check, please.
All right, that's.
So Reggie, how are you doing?
55 over 40.
Also an intelligence check.
61 over 50 for the intelligence check.
Good for you.
Hooray!
98 over 80 for the intelligence check.
Misha, no!
No, that's good. This is one
That's
you
good.
want to
I
fail.
don't understand it.
This is one you want to fail. So
Yes!
Reggie,
86 over 60.
good news is none of you know nothing about math.
Dang it, I'm so alone.
So Madge will take 1, Eloise, Maurice, and Sir Reggie will take a d6. As the fundamental underpinnings of reality warp before your eyes.
Sorry, what do I
Okay,
D6 of damage against D6 of sanity loss.
I have a question though,
Yes.
because I've now lost 10.
Oh,
I'm at
good. That
40.
triggers indefinite insanity in Madge. I will get to that in a moment.
No. Okay.
take? I only lost 1.
Good.
Lucky me.
You really have no
I-
idea what's going on.
My
I
quicker
also only
faith.
lost 1.
Okay. And Sir
My
Reggie?
quicker faith holds strong.
Yes. How many did you lose, Sir Reggie?
I lost 2.
Okay. So look, no one got any like real bad stuff that didn't trigger anyone to hit their threshold, right? Except for Madge. Madge,
Dang, dude.
you know exactly what this is. I would make you roll mathematics, but you can't fail.
Yeah, I'm too good.
Actually,
right
no.
now.
No, I do want you to attempt an extreme mathematics roll, which for
What
you
does
at the
that mean?
moment, if you hit 40 or below, it will be you will make an extreme success. Because your score is now technically set at 200. We'll
Okay.
see what happens.
Puppy, look out.
It won't necessarily change things.
66.
Okay, so just a hard success in mathematics. So yes, you absolutely know exactly what's going on in the completion of this multi-part formula. This is a bridge between this reality and the reality that the truer reality that lies both within and beyond the world that until moments ago you thought was the only thing that was real. You now realize that this world that you have lived in is but a shadow cast by something ineffable that exists beyond. It is available to you to open that door. You can tell from a momentary glance between yourself and Dr. Karaji that he has arrived at the same realization.
Question.
Yes.
Is there anything that I can say or do to ease what's going on with him so his head doesn't explode?
I don't think you're worried about that at the moment, given that you are now indefinitely insane.
Oh, okay.
I think the most overriding goal is to see what happens. Now, you haven't lost agency as a player. That happens when you hit 0 sanity. So it is up to you to decide whether Madge wants to explore this deeper reality by seeing what happens when it is entered from this side, or pulling something from the other side in. It's like, do you want to go exploring it, or do you want a sample of what's on the other side? It is up to.
I feel like it's safer to go there myself than to just pull something into our. You know what I mean? If you think about it.
Yeah.
Because if I get lost, I get lost. But if we pull something in and it like eats all the people, then we're in trouble.
I will punch it.
There is that.
There's that.
Yes. I think that makes perfect sense to me, which is why I'm spending a major pain.
This is from Vargar. Dang you, Vargar. Oh no. I'm already definitely insane.
Yeah, well, but you are trained in the scientific method.
It's true.
And so while you're like, oh, I have to go explore, he's like, no, the sensible, responsible thing is to take it in steps. So I'm going to reverse your decision. I'm going to say that your interest is in opening it and seeing what wanders in.
Okay.
I will say that Dr. Karaji, as your collaborator, will simply drop the chalk that he was holding after connecting that final piece and sharing that meaningful look with you. And then the rest of you watch as he simply leaps at the blackboard. There's a moment where he makes contact, where he seems to hang in midair as if it were an adhesive surface. And then you can see the surface of the blackboard flow like viscous fluid over his form until it seals behind him with a ripple. There's a moment as he's passing through where you can feel a pull, and the papers around the room are immediately ruffled, and a few of them flow towards the blackboard as it feels like air is sucked in this brief gust. And it's silent for a moment. Then you start to see the surface of the blackboard in the center of this 5-pointed twisted star begin to bulge. You see shapes rippling underneath it, worm-like, like something burrowing under flesh. You see pressure. You see scrabbling of fine tendrils. What's happening?
Screaming. I'm just going to fill that in. Screaming, I think.
I am going to run towards Madge and pull her away from the madman who is leaping through the...
Oh yeah, I mean, he's gone by now, but you can certainly grab onto her.
I'm probably walking toward the chalkboard though.
Yeah. So, Madge, would you like to resist anyway as Sir Reggie comes over and attempts to manhandle you?
Can I? No, probably not.
You're probably a little out of it, not really paying attention.
I want to go through it, but I also don't think that the pull is strong enough that I'm gonna fight someone.
Well, you know
I'm
something's about to.
like,
You're going to get a chance to get a look at what's behind it firsthand. So you just want to be first in line to see
Right.
up close.
Yeah, I do.
So Madge is quite fascinated, Sir Reggie. So no opposed roll. You will still have to roll a fighting brawl and succeed, but it won't require anything other than a regular success, unless you're looking to do damage to her, which I don't deduce from your statement that you are. So fighting brawl, Sir Reggie.
That is a full success, extreme success, whatever that's called.
An extreme success. All right, with that, I will allow you not only to grab onto her, but to maneuver her wherever you would like. I mean, within reason. Obviously, you can't maneuver her to Pittsburgh, but You can,
Don't-
like, if
don't
you
think
want
that-
to pull her to the back of the room, or if you want to push her out of the room, or whatever it is you want to do that involves repositioning her, you may do so. So what happens when you grab hold of young Madge, who's, by the way, quite gorgeous, just in case you didn't know.
I'm envisioning Eloise and Maurice and myself having entered the room and being by the door, and then Maurice went forward to, So I'm going to pull Madge backwards and put her into the doorway itself, with Eloise and myself flanking her, and
All right.
Maurice. Sorry, mate.
All right. What are Maurice and Eloise doing?
I'm gonna try and talk down Madge, trying to see what sort of, like, ask her what exactly is happening to her, like, in her head, because this seems to be like a mental sort of situation. And I'm a taxi. I talk to people all the time, and I just kind of trying to glean some sort of information. It's like, Madge, what's happening to you? What's going on?
Yeah. So that could be a psychology. It could be, but it sounds like more like you're trying to engage her in a social fashion. So use whatever social skill you would like. That's consistent with the action that you're taking.
My best is fast talks, but I don't know if that would be apply. But
I think it's not. I think it's probably either charm or persuade.
all right, charm is 15. I guess maybe the yeah. I'm gonna go with the charm, which is 15. So here we go. Oh, 8.
Now, if you spend a luck, that will make it a hard success.
I'll do it. Heck. How do I adjust this? I guess.
Just manually deduct 1 from your luck.
49.
That gets you a hard success on charm.
Yep, there we go. I'm charming today.
Yeah.
Madge, what's happening? What's happening to you? Please speak to me. Speak to me.
I'm doing math. I think I need to open this door, the chalkboard. You get me. And I think I need to see what's over there. I think that sounds most reasonable right now. I think that's probably the best course of action right now.
What do you think's behind there? What do you think that could possibly help us?
Science. You know what? I don't really know at this point. I feel like if we don't do it, it's gonna bother me. So now I just need to know what's over there, because, like, I need to know now. You know what I mean? I need to know. I need to know.
I become deeply concerned with her, because she's not explaining anything to me.
There's probably some attempts at rapid fire explanation of the fundamental mathematics that Madge is now fully aware of, but they just go over Maurice's head.
I'll just crit fail that automatically.
I mean, you could roll it. See if you could get another crit. Actually, yes, do roll mathematics.
Oh, no. Well, I'm sure it's garbage.
You have a 1.
I have a 1. It's not a 1.
Oh, you know what? No. Roll education.
Oh, no, because I just rolled that, and I got a 15. My education is, what, 50?
Yeah.
Gee, that's like a hard success, I think.
It's a hard success, yes. But not a critical.
No.
It would have taken a critical.
Okay.
But I would say take another sanity point.
Ah, dangus.
As it just makes enough sense. And Madge is a good enough teacher and knows enough about your background that she's, in these few moments, she's very intelligently leveraging analogies that are
I probably started talking about mechanics and
in leveraging kind of mechanical language and imagery to try to get this into your head. It's not enough for you to comprehend it, but it's enough for it to be very distressing to you. So,
I hate this math.
The chalkboard bulges. It's now these appendages that look like they're underneath a rubber sheet have pushed the surface of the chalkboard out 3 feet. You don't have a frame of reference, but it appears that the membrane has become quite thin. What do you do? Other than Madge, who's just taking notes. anxiously awaiting the advent of the truth from beyond.
Hey, we were by a door, right? I assume Eloise this whole time has been like looking to see if we can get out of the room, but I assume the angles being weird has made it difficult.
Yeah. As you look down, especially as the whatever's going on the chalkboard gets stronger, as you occasionally look down the hallways, that optical illusion of the hallways, like pulling focus, where they seem to elongate and become almost infinite. This is in the hallway. It is an interior hallway to one of the quads, with lovely kind of arched windows, and you like just in your peripheral vision, you think you see things flying by the windows. It seems to have gotten darker outside. It doesn't feel like it's a very good spot. But I will also say it doesn't feel like that safety is but a few steps away.
I become concerned about Dr. Karaji, and he might not be a Christian, but he does have the light of the Lord with him. So I figure he's worth at least trying to save from whatever is happening right now. So I turn to everyone else and say, I think we should go in there and try to save them.
No, he's dead. His brain was about to explode.
We don't know that for sure exactly. Madge is still here, and she's wrapped up in the math completely.
That's because she's a mathematician.
So
The best one this school has to offer.
Thanks, bestie.
I turn to Reggie. It's like, what do you think, Reggie? Sir Reggie? Esquire?
We need to stick together.
So we have to decide against as a group. So I'm going to say me and Madge at least are in favor of going in there.
I don't even necessarily need to go in. I just need to see. We can go in. We can open it and let things come out. I don't care. We need to break the membrane-y thing.
Well, the good news is that doesn't require any action on your parts, as with a sound that combines a pop, like a champagne cork, but with a bit of fingernails on chalkboard. The first tentacle-like extrusion makes its way into this reality. Very thin, hair-like, almost like a cilia. Quite long. Starts as like a little 6 inches, and then shoots out into the room like a fine hair and starts whipping around. It touches the walls and the books. It seems to be exploring in a way that is chaotic and disturbing, and yet somehow intelligent. Following that small breach, another, and then another hair-like appendage, these a bit thicker, begin expanding into the room. What happens? I will say sanity checks. And regardless of that, Maurice, this is ungodly. Everything up to this point, you have been able to maintain some sort of balance around, but the simple look at whatever this is tells you this is the opposite of everything that you hold dear.
I got 100.
I got a 13. Oh. You got 100?
Sure did.
It's my sanity. 27.
2d6 for Eloise, please.
24.
Excellent. Take one.
Yet again, my faith brings me through the
54.
tough one.
Is that
Sorry,
over or
what?
under? A fail?
A failure.
Okay. Give me a d6,
Sorry.
please. So one for Maurice,
Okay.
one for Madge. Not that you can get any more insane than you are.
No, but I could keep losing it, right?
You can keep losing it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
And
took 8.
so Reggie takes
that's-
a d6 and Eloise takes 2d4. And you took 8 total?
Yeah.
Is that
Sure
enough?
did.
Is that enough to put you into indefinite insanity?
Yes, it is. Also.
Yeah. Come on, bestie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is the most interesting thing?
Eloise.
I think Eloise doesn't like being alone. I think she has not. This is why she always talks to everybody, because she's like, we can be friends. But everyone's like, you're just a goss. But now she has best friends. Her best friend Madge will lead her on the way.
Yes.
Also, does Eloise have like tape scissors?
Probably.
Yeah.
I have a
I
lot
want
of
to
things
cut
in
one
this
of
bag.
these things off. Can I cut one
yeah.
of these things off? I can talk Eloise into it really easy.
100%.
She's
100%.
I got a little switchblade knife in here. If you
Yes.
think that'd be better.
well.
I
You
would
get
say
the
if you
switchblade. I'll
use
take the scissors.
if you use scissors, you would be using medicine. If you use switchblade, you're going to use brawl.
Oh yeah, I want to use medicine.
Yeah.
I do so good at it. I'm so good at medicine.
So I will say your indefinite insanity renders you extremely suggestible, Eloise.
Give me the knife because I have better brawl.
And you kind of immediately sort of surrender your will to whatever your allies suggest, but in particular Madge, because she seems to have this whole situation figured out, and your executive function has decided that it's going to take a little bit of a bye-bye.
Yeah, it's gone.
And delegate
It's good.
all decision making to other people.
Perfect. All right, yeah, here you go. I hand Madge a knife. I take the scissors, and we try to get a little tentacle sample.
Cool.
I mean,
And so
hair
Reggie-
like appendage.
What? How much did you lose? So Reggie?
Sorry. I'm not Reggie.
I lost 4 points.
And what did you start at?
I am at 33 out of 40, so 1 point to go.
Okay, good. So Sir Reggie and Maurice are hanging on. Madge and Eloise have fully lost it as they step into the room with the whirling cilia and attempt to take a sample.
For science.
For
All right.
science.
So that's going to be a medicine for Eloise and a fighting brawl for Madge. Madge, I'm going to provide you with a bonus die because although the motions of these cilia or tentacles appear to be random, you understand very well the mathematical principles that guide their motion. So you are in some ways able to predict their motion.
So does that mean I do 2 of the hundreds and take the top one?
Take the lower, yeah.
Oh yeah, take the lower because
Yeah.
lower is better, right?
And then
right,
then the
right.
medicine for Eloise to snip off a little bit.
Yeah, I got a 52 under 70.
Well done.
I know. I'm very good at medicine, as I previously stated.
I got a 50 on both of my 100 die.
So
So I got a 56, which was not good enough.
well,
It was a fail.
what
We
is
got
your
the
score?
boons.
It was a 56 over 25.
Okay, so you probably don't want to spend the luck.
No, I'll just fail.
Although
it's
this is
fine.
a combat skill, we are not yet in combat. You could push it. Just understanding that the consequences of pushing.
No, it's okay. I'll
Okay.
just not be good with the knife.
I think your ability to predict their emotion is in place, but it's just your skill with the knife is not enough to
I'm like-
actually catch one of them. Your reflexes aren't fast enough. However, Eloise, something about giving up all decision making just is so freeing that Eloise just strides into the middle of the room and snips off a piece and grabs it, wriggling, before it even hits the ground and slips it into a little envelope and then holds it out to Madge. When one of the tentacles reaches out to grab you, Eloise, would you like to dodge it or would you like to fight back? You do have scissors.
I will try to dodge it, I think.
Cool.
Can I assist with my knife? Can I try to slash at it?
Well, let's see. What is everyone's dexterity?
I'm
40.
And so Reggie?
70.
Okay.
Also
60.
70.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the least reactive around here.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put us into combat. So Maurice and Sir Reggie decide who does what first.
Okay.
Then we'll move to Madge and then Eloise. It will get a chance to act before that. But what triggers this is in response, the one little tentacle cilia that Eloise clipped immediately back into the blackboard. The others look very much like, almost like they have senses. They immediately react, pull back a little bit, and then orient towards Eloise. It is clear that she is in peril. So what do Sir Reggie and Maurice do?
I'm gonna dive over there and move Eloise out of the way and hopefully to safety.
All right. Are you going to resist, Eloise? Or are you going to allow yourself to be
no.
tackled? Cool.
I can get tackled. That's fine.
Cool. So
Maurice is cool.
all you need to do there is succeed on a brawl there, Maurice.
Here we go, brawl away. That is a 6 total.
Oh, well done. Yes.
Yeah.
No damage. You're able to tackle her and push her down and interpose yourself between her and the threshing tentacles. So Reggie, your action.
As you know, when I'm giving talks, I often dress up in khaki with a pith helmet and so
Yes.
on. Would I happen to have my holster with me with my pistol in it? Or is this a luck roll type thing?
I think it's perfectly reasonable for you to be walking around armed. I don't think anyone would question you about it. It's part of the whole shtick of being this grand world explorer.
Then I would like to sidestep into the room and unleash 3 shots into the blackboard.
So you're aiming for the blackboard or are you aiming for the tentacles?
I think it's probably best to aim for the base of one of the tentacles, but well away from Eloise.
Yeah, but like where they're coming out. So good. So you are attempting to hit the tentacles as they're protruding from the blackboard. Excellent. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll the first one normal. You're going to add a penalty die to the second one and 2 penalty die to the third one. As you fan the hammer. Basically showing it your chances of hitting decrease in a fashion with every shot. So it's your firearms, rifle, pistol skill flat, then 1 penalty die, then another penalty die. Let's figure out how many successes you get, and then we'll do damage.
Okay. So my first shot is 99, which I think might miss.
It does miss, but your skill is above 50, I believe. So it's not a critical fail. You don't accidentally shoot Maurice. Well done.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Second shot with a penalty die.
That would be 58.
Which is...
My revolver skill is 60, so that's his...
So it's what? So that's a hit. And then your second shot with 2 penalty die.
That would be 66, I believe, which is a fail. So 1 shot hits.
Would you like to spend luck? You're only 6 away from a success.
Yeah, all right.
So you can spend 6 luck to get you down to 60, which would be a success if I recall correctly. All right, so that's 2 successes. Excellent. So roll your damage twice. Neither was a hard or extreme success, so it's just whatever your damage says.
So the first shot does 7 damage, and the second shot does 9 damage.
Well done. So the first shot just goes into a book, right? And then being the proper stiffer upper lip, you simply recenter your balance and then fire 2 more, both of which strike home. Perhaps you had originally been aiming a little bit further down the tentacle, but then you reorient towards right where the tentacle joins the surface of the blackboard, and they do sink home. Whatever the substance of this tentacle is, it is severed from its origin, and then just kind of begins writhing on the floor. And you see some sort of strange, acrid smelling smoke coming off of it, as it seems to react poorly to having been severed. It's not harmful, but it does make your eyes sting a bit and brings up a bit of bile in the back of your throat. It's quite disgusting. Well done. It is going to go. Maurice, would you like to dodge or fight back? As a tentacle now that you are covering its intended target, one of the tentacles is going to come towards you.
Ungodly force. I don't have any weapons, so I'm just going to try to brawl at my hand. Maybe I can sever it using just brute strength or something like that.
You know what we'll say? Make a luck roll for me.
I will make a luck roll. What is my luck right now? That's 49. Right, I used one. It's on 64 over 49, unfortunately.
Okay. Although these tentacles have been smashing about the room a bit, and might have damaged a chair, you don't there's not like a chair leg that's laying right next to you. So you are basically dealing with what you have on hand. Now, I will say you probably have your toolbox or your tool belt on you. So maybe you have like a wrench.
I'll say I'll have a monkey wrench on me then.
Yeah. So kind of like a light club.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will fight brawl. I'll just take it and whoop it.
Cool. You are fighting back. Well done.
Yeah. Sorry, where's my fight brawl? There it is, 70. What is that? 13. Is that anything really good? That is a crit, I believe.
An extreme success. We're taking 1 to crit.
13 under 14.
Yeah, 13 under 70, which is an extreme success. Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. It got a regular success, which means you beat it.
All right.
So something tells you, or perhaps Eloise, who's able to look over your shoulder as you cover her body in a protective fashion, is able to give you enough warning that you can turn around, and as you do, just out of instinct, you pull out your wrench and you smack this thing. As an extreme success, it is not piercing, but you are going to do piercing damage on extreme success. You get to max the damage and add an extra die. But this is bludgeoning damage, so you just max the damage. So you do your full damage.
Yes.
I think you may have a damage bonus due to your build.
What is it? It says damage 1d3 plus d8.
Plus DB, which is your damage bonus.
Sorry.
And then in the little table next to it, it should say damage bonus something.
Let's see. Move, build, dodge.
I don't remember
bonus.
if you have it.
1d4.
So yes. So you are going to, so that's 8 plus 4.
Okay.
Is your damage. So it does 12 points of damage.
Ooh. So I goon it.
You do. You roll off of Eloise just in time to see this thing coming, and you smack it out of the air and then just start pounding on it as this strange ichor splashes off. I need you to take 1 health point.
Oh, okay.
As you are sprayed with this acidic ichor. It burns quite a bit. But you smack as it flops and pulls back, you kind of lean one elbow down on this and just pound it into a pulp until it is severed. Well done, Eloise. Madge.
Well,
I'm sorry. No, it gets to go next. There's another pop as an eye stalk comes out. A strange alien orb pops out of the blackboard and begins regarding you. It looks down. It marks the individual who has just harmed it. Eloise, Madge, what do you do? Madge, by the way, you're getting all kinds of wonderful data.
Oh,
Madge, what do we do?
And you know,
I'm
and you
grabbing a bunch of data, Eloise.
and you have a sample. So what are your actions? You also realize that this thing is attempting to kill you.
Yeah, is there any possible way of like grabbing Eloise and like just like running like at the wall or something and getting out of there?
Yes.
Like we have our sample, we have our data, like I'm grabbing Bestie, we're running because we crazy. We need to get out of here.
So you're in your madness. You recognize that there is danger, but your primary goal is to retrieve the sample that Eloise had for further study. And you can't very well study this if you are killed and eaten by it.
All right.
So, yes, you can attempt to. Now, are you looking to recover Eloise or are you looking to recover the sample?
Well, here's the question: are we not able to get another sample?
Oh, you can try to get another sample.
Hightail it out.
I think
wasn't there a tentacle going after?
I think all of it is going after me, but I'm really just waiting for Bessie to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I gotta get Eloise out of there because I think Eloise is even more gone than I am, and I know that, like well, because I feel like
I think understanding that the sample is organic, probably in your madness you realize that biology is not one of your academic disciplines, and that Eloise might be useful to you in the study of the sample.
Exactly. And I'm all like, we gotta get out of here. I think too, every time you've had me roll sanity since I went insane, I've passed it. Yeah. So I feel like I'm almost like aware of my insanity. Like
you're leaning in. Worse. You're leaning into it.
We gotta go.
So yes, would you give me a dodge?
Yes. Ooh, my dodge. Yeah.
That's an 8.
63 over 20.
All right.
Very dexterous.
As you run across the room, one of the tentacles lashes out and smacks you about the head and shoulders for 1 point of health.
Rude.
Knocks you a bit off course, but you are able to go and grab at Eloise, who's on the floor, help her up. Eloise, clearly this is time to go. I would like you to give me a dodge as well.
Time to go. Let's go. I got 48 over 40.
Would you like to do something about that?
Gosh, probably. What's the as the almost sole user of boons, let me just.
There's a couple of minors. You could spend a minor or you could spend luck.
Let's spend a minor.
All right.
A bit. And then that will bring us under to 38 under 40.
Which is enough. It's not so much that these are attacking, they're just flailing around. You are running across, and then the table that had all these little tablets on it has been knocked over, and you step on one of them in your little kitten heel nurse shoes and kind of stumble a little bit just as one of these whirling tentacles whips over your head, and you are not clocked in the face. So, Madge and Eloise burst out the door. Back at the top of the round, Sir Reggie, Maurice, what do you do?
We need to stick together. I'm following Madge and Eloise.
Would you give me... Oh, just give me a straight intelligence there, Sir Reggie. Same with you, Maurice, just for curiosity.
All right. I'm somewhat intelligent.
You know what? It's
32.
Super... Oh, good. And I will also even give you a bonus die.
I got an extreme success.
Excellent.
32 is still a normal success.
Okay. So, Maurice, this ungodly evil thing is attempting to enter this world. If it is able to gain a foothold, existence as you know it will end. Fleeing from this is not an option. Sir Reggie, as an extreme success, you realize that not only that, but that whatever portal has been opened must be sealed. Even as Maurice continues to wave his wrench around, fending off these tentacles, it's not just a matter of stopping whatever this entity is, but that the portal itself must be sealed because you are certain there are others.
Madge, you have to cancel the equation somehow. Anti-math. To equalize it. I don't know.
To anti-math equalize it. I don't think I mean I don't know the inverse to this. I don't know how to reverse it.
Do you?
Do I?
Make a mathematics roll.
Okay. Maybe. Hold on. Let me see if I can help you. Wait, isn't my mathematics like 1,000,000 right now?
It's 200.
So 40.
I rolled
So 100 is a hard success.
I rolled a 69. Nice.
Nice.
Which is a hard success.
Nice.
Sorry.
You know that you, because it's not an extreme success, you don't know how to do what Sir Reggie is asking, which is to effectively fully negate this. But you do understand that there are variables that you could introduce that would destabilize the equation. Now, it is your choice, because again, even though you are indefinitely insane, you haven't lost agency. I would say you have the stated objective, the imperative of your insanity, which is the sample. It is your choice whether you wish to simply leave whatever's going to happen to whatever's going to happen and then go run off to a lab with Eloise and figure it out, or whether you have the presence of mind to understand what it is that Sir Reggie and Maurice are saying to you and attempt to help them.
I mean, I don't know. This whole thing right here started when he wrote that chalk on that tablet, right? Is there any way for me to like smash the tablet, write new chalk over it? Like, is there any way to like change the math?
Yeah, on the blackboard.
Okay. I'm in.
All right.
Chalk's not just for eating.
So, Sir Reggie, your entreaty, as Madge begins to haul Eloise out, your entreaty reaches her. And maybe it's the opportunity for another mathematical challenge. You can see her calculating in the air with her fingers. Yes, I could do that. And she begins to turn. However, it is still Sir Reggie and Maurice's turn to act.
You go first, Sir Reggie.
Are there any more tentacles?
Oh, yeah. Tentacles and a nice dog.
Oh.
In that case, we probably ought to take out the eye first, if Madge is going to be going over there. I am going to fire at that.
Do it. You're going to fan the hammer again and then have an empty gun?
Yes, of course.
Well done. Same routine as before.
Looks cool though.
Two hits.
Well done. Regular hits. All right. Give me the total damage, please.
7 and 9 again.
Ooh. Well done. The first one hits, the one at 7 hits where the bulb of the eye joins the stalk. And you can see that same spray of greenish black fluid. And where it hits the wall coverings and the curtains, you can see a hissing as they are slowly dissolved. The second actually hits the orb itself, which kind of starts to ooze in a really gross way as it flails around in obvious distress. Maurice.
Maurice is gonna keep on hitting this ungodly evil until it's dead.
Do it.
'Cause otherwise, everything's destroyed, and that's where everything is where I keep my stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So, sorry, fighting still is.
Yeah,
17?
fighting brawl.
Oh my god, I am rolling like a dynamo. 9.
Ooh, well done. Is that an extreme success?
That is an extreme success by even more than last time.
Lovely. That's going to be maximum damage.
Yep. So what do we establish that was?
It's the damage on. I think you have like small club.
Okay.
So it's D6 plus your damage bonus, which I believe we just established as D4.
Yeah. So that's 10
It's
damage.
max, so 10 total damage. Wow.
Yes.
Yes, the tentacle to which the eye stalk is attached is significantly thicker. So as it begins to whirl around the room, the main body has kind of draped down onto the floor. So you simply kind of elbow crawl up to it and begin to pound away at it. You get one really, really good strike on it as it sprays more acid on you. You take one more point of damage.
Oh, of course. This is the downside to melee.
Would you like to dodge or fight back? As its turn begins.
I'm going to fight back the way I'm rolling.
All right.
This is the same roll?
Yep.
Oh, that's less good. 62. Which is a success.
It got a hard success.
Oh.
Not quite extreme. And I don't have any luck I can spend. So, well, I could use... Do I have any minor bones?
You
I
got
believe
so
you
many
do.
banes.
Minor banes, I mean.
You got banes for days.
I
You
think
have
I
2
have a minor bane.
banes.
I'm going to use a minor bane
No.
to make that an extreme success.
No.
As you are pounding away at this tentacle, this extrusion, the eye that Sir Reggie had shot swings towards you and then splits open to reveal needle-like teeth dripping that same green-black viscous
Ew.
fluid. And then it
God.
darts at you like a cobra and latches onto your shoulder.
Ouch. So that's max damage of what?
This sounds terrible.
Oh, that's right. It's an extreme success. Well, cool. How many hit points do you have, by the way?
Right now, 11.
11. So maximum damage would be 12.
Uh-oh.
Would you like to spend 10 luck to avoid being knocked unconscious?
I think I will.
You probably should.
How much damage do I still take, though?
We'll just say for the sake of things that you have 1 hit point.
All right.
There's a mechanic whereby you take a bunch of damage and then you make a constitution check and all that kind of stuff. But I think in this case, it's more like, are you lucky enough that it doesn't actually get to like pump in all the venom and rip off your arm, leaving you with 1 hit point left. But you go from being very healthy and hearty and hale to being on death's door in 1 strike.
Oh.
Madge.
Yeah, I'm doing math.
Where
Yes.
are we going, Madge? What are we doing?
Eloise, listen, I need you to get another sample
Yeah, sure, no problem.
without getting hit by anything, okay? You gotta dip, duck, and dodge and just get a sample and then get out and meet me back at the doorway.
Can
Okay.
do.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go undo some math or something. I'm gonna try, and then I'll meet you back here and we're gonna get out of Dodge, okay? So sample, doorway, get out of Dodge.
Got it. Let's
Okay.
go.
All right.
So I'm gonna
we
go try to undo some
scurry
math real quick.
Yes. You know what? You can't fail on the mathematics. So I would like you to give me a sanity check.
Oh, for crying outside. Um.
And then Eloise,
Well,
go ahead and give me a medicine.
We need to talk about this because I just rolled a 99 on my sanity check.
And what's your total sanity at the moment?
39?
So that's a critical fail.
Yeah, so we got boons and stuff. Can I just push it?
Do have boons.
Can I use all of my luck?
Technically, you can't push a critical fail, but this isn't exactly normal situation. How can we make this interesting? The critical fail, you are fully absorbed. All right. I will tell you later what's going on in Madge's mind. Unless you want to do something like spend all the major boons to try to fix things.
Well,
You can spend multiple? Nice.
I can do that. Actually, you probably should do that anyway, but I think I've decided that critical fail is going to have a consequence regardless. So,
oh my gosh.
but no, in a way that's very, very interesting. So,
Okay.
what are you going to do there, Madge? As
I will use whatever I need to use to make this not happen.
well, we have 4 major boons.
Okay.
So just use them until you get a success.
Okay. So I'm going to use one of them. I just re-roll on these, yeah?
Yeah, reroll the 10s.
Re-roll the 10. So I still have to have the 9.
Yeah, it's like a bonus die. Or bonus die.
Oh, okay. Got you. All right. Major boon, and I got a 99 again. Okay.
Cool.
Major boon, and let me pick a different 10 die because I don't trust that one anymore.
Do it.
All
Okay.
right. Next one. I got a 00.
For a 9.
All right.
And a 9. So 9.
Cool. That only took 2 major boons. I'm going to go ahead
Only
and knock
2.
off use Major Bane for the thing that no one else
You're
but
gonna
you
do
realizes
just-
has happened.
Okay.
But yes, you being so close, it's almost like the surface. You go to try to introduce some new variables into the equation. And as you reach your hand forward, your eyes focus on the surface of the blackboard as it ripples, and then they focus through the surface. And you're able to see the blasted alien landscape that lies beyond, that writhes with strange beings, with strange conglomerations of tentacles, eye stalks. You see in the distance, under leaden clouds, a very alluring cityscape. Bizarre towers.
This is what I wanted. And now I don't know if I want it.
You see something that once was Dr. Karaji.
Ooh, what does he look like?
Well, it doesn't bear description. He is alive.
Like I can tell it's him, but it's not him.
Something about existing in this other place has rapidly warped his flesh. There's enough of his once handsome face to recognize it. And you get an idea. And begin to inscribe not just a few new variables, but a complex equation, altering the geometry of this bridge between worlds to suit your particular desires. That's going to take a moment. Eloise, are you able to get another sample?
Yeah, I got 40 under 70.
Well done. You just walk up to, you scrape a little bit off of Maurice. You chip a little bit, snip a little bit off one of the tentacles that he is partly severed, and then you're going to need to dodge. just to see if you could hit.
I got a 1 under 40.
Well, that's a critical success. Is there anything else that you like to do other than just suddenly become Jackie Chan and parkour through the road?
Madge told me precisely what I needed to do. It was get another sample, dodge everything, and then go back to the lab. So I'm leaving.
You just do that. Something about your complete lack of concern and just like total suggestibility unlocks athletic skills that you didn't even realize that you had.
Exactly.
Doing,
I have to follow the rules.
A wonderful standing backward handspring, one-handed cartwheels. It's a real Buffy the Vampire Slayer situation in there. And then you hop out to the back and then, brush off your little nurse's whites, flick off a little piece of ichor, and stand there with your sample case. Well done. Maurice, Reggie. You are aware of what Madge is doing.
All I can really do is continue to protect Madge and everyone I can, even though I'm only 1 health away from being knocked down. I'm going to continue fighting. I got to keep fighting.
Do it. So Reggie,
all right.
You can take a round to reload, or you can do something different.
I'm sorry, didn't this thing have a turn in between?
Its turn was to eat Maurice.
It ate me and it hurt a lot. Like a lot. All right.
He was not successful in injecting him with eggs or anything, but yet. So Reggie, would you like to just spend the round reloading your pistol, or would you like to do something else?
I think I should move in and grab at one of these tentacles that's lashing at Maurice and try and pull it away.
Try to pull away the one that the eye stalk / mouth. Yeah. Okay, cool. So go ahead and give me a brawl on that.
Maurice got a 37, and I'm going to spend 2 luck to make that a 35 to make it a hard success.
Well done.
All right.
Roll your damage.
It's
hard success.
Oh, well done.
Sorry, which one's the D8? There it is. D8 plus D4.
Yep.
Let's see. That is 6 total damage.
Cool. So Reggie, would you like to give me a strength? This is one that you are going to want to do very well on. Just roll your strength characteristic.
And this can't be pushed.
It might be. We'll see what you get.
Well, I've got a flat failure.
Well, we have boons, and you have luck.
I'd like to try and push it if I can.
Yeah. Or you could spend a boon to get a bonus die.
That would be a hard success for pushing it.
Ah, excellent. I didn't tell you the consequence was about to be very, very severe. But however, I will say what happens is as you're pulling it away, Maurice is pounding at this tentacle. It's becoming quite tenuous, as in it's quite close to hitting its hit point maximum. And you know that if you just could dig deeper, you've succeeded at pulling it away, and you try to wrench it to pull it apart where Maurice has weakened it. And eventually you just kind of just flop down on the ground and push with your legs. And there's this almighty kind of rubbery ripping noise as you literally rip the last few sinews or whatever, strange wriggling nerves and vessels that make up this tube-like extrusion. And it just writhes and whips in your hand. I am going to give it one last death throw. You're going to want to dodge or fight back, Sir Reggie.
Fight back, I believe.
All right. Roll your fighting brawl.
Normal success.
All right. Well, it got a 33, which is a hard success, which means that it does, in fact, hit you. But it's for normal damage, which is 5. So with its death throes, this now severed tentacle whips around and kind of latches onto your side. It is quite painful. It's as much a piercing as it is a burning. However, you're okay. And
Just
match. You put the final stroke into this additional supplemental equation. The blackboard, instead of being still extruded out into this room, immediately reverses. And there's a strong suction as the tentacles are pulled back. Everyone kind of has to brace a little bit. It's not strong enough that anyone risks flying into it. But you can see that the surface of the blackboard has now extruded. The wall behind it is also warped into this reverse funnel as everything still connected to this entity is back. Then there's a little bit of a wobble as the forces equalize, and then it's almost like ice forming on a pane of glass as it solidifies. And then it's back to being a blackboard. You were certain that the extra effect that you intended from that equation was also successful.
Do I know what that extra effect is yet?
We'll get that in the post-credit scene.
Okay.
Is the warping of all the right angles in this room permanent, or is that also gone?
As you, Reggie, pull yourself up off the ground, holding on to your side, you see Maurice just wrecked on the floor next to you. There certainly is visual sign of the events here. You can see how the wall is stained and still smoking. Obviously your own blood everywhere, all the disgusting mess on the floor, but otherwise everything seems to have returned to normal. And about that point, the local policemen who have been dividing and conquering between the two crime scenes arrive, having been drawn by the sound of gunfire.
Did I get out with Eloise before they got there?
Sure.
Okay. Let's go, Bestie. Get in the car. Woo.
So, Sir Reggie and Maurice, as the police arrive, guns drawn. Who's firing guns in here? What's going on? Is it another murder? You guys look awful. What's going on here? Hands up.
I need medical attention. Somebody get me a nurse or a doctor.
I'm curious.
Eloise!
The nurse is gone.
I'm very badly burned.
So Reggie or Maurice, what story do you concoct?
Okay, Professor Naraji was. I come up with a complete lie. Professor Naraji was actually responsible for what happened to the other two people, and he has fled the scene, unfortunately, and managed to hurt us in the process.
Sir Reggie, what do you have to say about this?
He had some sort of strange abilities. I've seen them in the Far East before. Have you heard of karate?
Okay, cool. So as you are both attempting to pull the wool over these, let's face it, they're in Arkham. They're incredibly gullible local policemen. Whichever of you has the highest fast talk, I will allow to roll with a bonus die.
I have 45. I'm assuming the talk. Reggie probably has high, right?
Oh, I have 5, which is very good.
Yeah, Reggie's not a very good liar.
I'm gonna give it a go. Bonus die, how does that work?
You roll the tens die twice and take the lower.
Okay. Here we go. Unfortunately, what is it? We're at 88 so far, and now 86.
No, it has.
So,
It's the tens that changes.
Oh, the tens that changes. So the first one was 8 then.
Yeah.
And then this one's gonna get a reroll. Oh, that's a lot better. 38. What is my fast talk? It's a regular success.
45. So regular success. Some of them probably but he is a foreigner, and it is the 1920s. So you have given them the most plausible lie, which is this strange, spooky foreigner was clearly behind the entire thing, and has now absconded. So they immediately say, "Oh, well done, gentlemen. We'll go track him down," and then leave you to bleed out.
Awesome.
Or to hobble your way towards the nurse's station, which is likely where Eloise and Madge have gone off to. So yes, we have a scene where the four of you have returned. Eloise, would you like to provide a little bit of? I'm sure Maurice and Reggie will say, "Can you please provide us with some first aid?"
Oh yes, of course I can provide you with first aid.
So make a first aid roll on each of them.
All right.
This blood
Let's
loss,
do Maurice first. A quick
very cool.
examination.
I feel I need something to warm the skin. Do you have any rum?
Oh
Yes.
I think we do.
actually do.
Yeah, we actually have a bag of alcohol.
have
I
so
got
much.
you.
Good news, Maurice. I got 74 under 75. So success.
So Maurice, you gain a hit point.
Huzzah!
Yeah, you're not actively bleeding out anymore.
Wow,
is what
Eloise
I've
is
done.
a terrible nurse.
Also, you
Terrible.
probably got a lot of morphine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Great friend, though. A great friend.
So Eloise, give Reggie some treatment.
I think my Mormon faith prevents me from allowing to have morphine.
Oh,
know
don't
my-
worry. I would probably ignore that because I'm a good nurse.
Sorry, Quaker faith.
I got a 58 under 75 for Reggie.
So excellent. So take a hit point there, Reggie.
He gets the good treatment.
Yeah. It was the exact same amount of treatment, even though the effect of your wounds were different. That's what really the difference was.
Yeah.
I'll heal one day.
Yes.
If I could heal you with math, I would.
Yes, you're going to require. Well, you might be able to. You're going to require some actual medical treatment there, Maurice, because technically that was a major wound.
Okay.
So there's going to be a little bit of a layup. You might want to find some private care because Nurse Eloise is terrible. But we can hook you up with a real doctor at some point.
Do I check major wound?
Yeah,
All right.
because you did take more than half of your health in one, and technically you just avoided a killing blow. So yes, actually over the next couple of hours, especially as you break into the late professor's stash of rum and scotch and other things, and decompress, the local authorities have completely accepted that the insane visiting professor committed murder.
Yeah, it was that guy.
They have concocted this notion that he was worried that that Professor Crothers would steal his alleged discovery. No real comprehensive record of which can be found. And so then sought to murder the professor and his assistant so that he could claim the sole credit for whatever strange discovery it was that he... This is only like the fourth or fifth time that this has happened at Miskatonic in the past 3 semesters. So it's very plausible. You all get a little bit loaded, get a little bit loose, and blow off some steam. Certainly 2 of you are going to require some sort of long-term psychiatric care. But you all lived. And Madge is one step closer to working her way up the ranks of the mathematics department here at Miskatonic. So things turned out well. And Eloise's gross incompetence as a healthcare provider has not been revealed. So well done. I think we see some montage shots of Maurice with his arm bound up, doing a little bit of physical therapy. Sir Reggie spinning some sort of tall tale about a tiger attack and revealing the healing scars on his midsection. Eloise going about her business, spreading gossip, being a little bit more pliable than she was before, but not spreading any stories or tales about this strange event. And Madge going about, picking up the extra curriculum now that the department is shorthanded. Have to find some new folks to fill those roles. So well done, everyone. The post-credit scene. As Madge finishes a long day teaching, your mathematics skill has returned to simply being one of the best in the world. You no longer have a superhuman understanding of mathematics. The human mind can't contain that kind of knowledge for long. But luckily, you leveraged that knowledge expertly while you had it. Because your indefinite insanity, your desire to understand the true nature of that world that lies within and beyond our own, manifested in a quick calculation that you could retrieve something from the far side as you were closing the portal. We see Madge returning to her relatively humble home. I mean, it's nice, right? But it's not like a mansion, but nice and tidy.
It's like a little condo,
Yeah,
like
nice,
whatever.
tidy home in a nice neighborhood in Arkham. Maybe a little looking to either side as you unlock the door. Does Madge have a pet?
No, because she keeps too many long hours.
Keeps too many. Yeah. So
She has a tarantula.
Ah, okay. So you feed a cricket or whatever to your tarantula, and put your groceries down, and then you put together a little plate. Bread, a little meat, a little vegetable, and you take it down into your basement. And as the camera closes in to black, you slide the plate towards a figure chained to the wall. The partially transformed Dr. Karaji. As you take a seat and note your observation of the subject's strange behavior. And with that, we close.
I took a pet.
You have a pet now. So well done, everyone. Only one person almost died. Only half the group went permanently insane. That's about as good as it gets, especially for a bunch of people who've never played before. So it's almost like you're clearly ringers.
Mm-hmm.
You survived.
Look, Misha tried to die so many times. It was wild.
She tried to give that poor kid a lethal injection twice.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, listen, whoopsies.
I was rolling like a champ on those.
Oh yeah, you were bringing the heat.
Yeah.
No, that was so funny.
Coming from a non-violent Quaker, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I was violent on was clearly a violation of what, God's will or something.
100%.
Yeah, you said it was ungodly for sure.
100%. So, and Sir Reggie has rapidly made himself the hero of the story, as per usual. So
obviously,
it's the best outcome for everyone, even Dr. Karaji.
Yeah, really, we're having a great time.
Who's now a very interesting individual.
Listen, his head didn't explode, so
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it
he's
has
doing better
tentacles
than that
coming
other
out of it
dude.
now, but yeah.
Well,
but it didn't explode.
Yeah.
When you said pet, I thought you said you were gonna grow the tentacle into a pet of some sort.
No, just Dr. Karaji.
Why do that when you have a living specimen?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fine. We're best friends.
If it helps you, he looks a little bit like one of the clickers from Last of Us, except instead of like shelves of fungus, it's tentacles.
It did not help. Thank you.
You're
Question.
welcome.
Question.
Misha makes a sanity check in real life. It's fine.
Does Eloise know about the specimen?
Oh,
I mean, I think it depends if you told me, but since I will listen to what you say, the reason I haven't told anybody about our adventures is because he's like, well, don't tell anybody about it.
I
And I
think
was
you
like,
definitely
okay.
need a medical professional to help to understand the physiological
Yeah,
changes.
I think you probably know about it then.
Yeah.
But it's like, but we're
And you got Eloise, the best medical professional.
The best there is.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, but she's under kind of like a spell almost. So if she does what I says, she's the best professional out there then.
Yep. Yep.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, good job. Well done, everyone. Hey, let's do that thing where we let everyone know where they can find us. And then we'll say goodbye to our friends on YouTube and then write out to someone on Twitch. So let's start with you this time, Meg.
I'm Megan Amell. You can find me on Saturdays at about noon Central doing my weekly stream at meganamell.tv or twitch.tv/meganamell. And yeah, that's where you can find me pretty much. I also hang out in my Discord a lot. So during the week, you can usually find me there. But yeah, there you go. Twi'lek.
Yeah. I have been Twi'lek, and I am Sir Reggie Keaton. I was born in Oxford, and I am now living in a librarian's house in Arkham. Maurice.
You can go first, Mish.
Oh, no, you can.
Okay, I'll go first. Hey, I'm the Shanks Master General. You can see me at Shanks Master, twitch.tv/Shanks Master General, or you can go on Spotify and look for my band, The Dreadnoughts. DreadNoughts. We're doing quite well now. Huzzah! On to you, Misha.
How was your shows, by the way? Because you were just playing some this weekend, right?
They were sold out and they were huge, and I'm very sore right now, and my voice is thrashed, and I love it.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
All right. I am Misha _less_3 on Twitch. I don't really stream, but you can find me on the Justice TV program, or you can find me here on Tuesday. Chavank will be running us through the last segment of Burial Grounds. There we go. And then hopefully on the 26th, we'll be doing some Fate Brigade for some superhero stuff. But you should go to the Discord because I'm sure another one of these or any of the other drop-in games will be running whenever Zero goes like, I'm bored and want a game. So you can also say those things and one might happen.
Yes.
What was that game called? Fate Brigade?
Yes.
Fate Brigade. It's running the Masks RPG, so superhero stuff.
Okay.
Teenage superheroes. So we have a long-running campaign called Teen Justice Academy, which is pretty traditional. It's, up-and-coming young teenage superheroes learning about life and each other and betrayal and hard feelings and so much drama unnecessarily. And then Fate Brigade is more inspired by Doom Patrol and Suicide Squad. It's a bit more like misfits living in a creepy mansion run by a mad scientist who is an extremely neglectful, like criminally neglectful guardian to them. And they all have reasonably world-ending powers. So that's perfectly fine. Nothing can go wrong. So that'll be fun to pick up again. Yes, I've been Zero, your narrator, or in this system, Keeper of Arcane Lore. This is the second of a loosely interconnected series of tales that we call the Cavendish collection. We haven't actually gotten to the Cavendishes yet, or any of the items that it is that they are so desperate to procure. And we certainly haven't introduced the opposing faction who would like to acquire those items for their own for their own purposes. However, we have introduced some characters, some interesting lore into the setting that will play upon and deeply impact the evolution of the story. So yes, it is, as Misha mentioned, kind of intended as a drop-in, drop-out, where we typically tell a self-contained tale You can go over to community.c+content.tv, which is our Discord. Look at the Call of Cthulhu public channel to see chatter and ideas and planning and lovely news clippings that I create before and after to provide the kind of broader universe of players and potential players with a little bit of a running tally of what's going on in Arkham and surrounding areas of Massachusetts, Lovecraft Country as it's called. We may very well venture to other parts of the world as the story evolves, because not all of the items and things in question are located here in 1920s Massachusetts. So stay tuned. Find out what more is coming. Go ahead, and if you are on YouTube and you've gotten to this point, hopefully it means that you like us, so you should probably, I don't know, subscribe to the channel and like it. Maybe leave us a comment. Suggest more ways that we might torture future players. If you are on Twitch and you've watched this, go ahead and follow the channel. Don't feel like you need to subscribe or drop any bits or whatever. We do this for fun, not money. But yes, we will be seeing you again soon with more of this. And other things that we have planned. So let's wave goodbye to our friends on YouTube, and then we'll find someone to write out to. So goodbye, YouTube.
Goodbye.
YouTube.